Chuffy 1-2, check, check. Right, there's going to be some issues today, everyone. There's going to be some issues. There's going to be some serious stuff going down. We've got this woman, Jade, Future of the Past. I did look into her baseline. We're going to be looking at her video, her accusations of Martin Liedtke. I've not got any iron in the fire, but there's something I should say way before this. You're going to think, oh, what's going on with the stream? Oh, the quality of the stream's rubbish. Why is the quality of the stream rubbish? I've been on the phone to Virgin Media. It's not my fault, is it? It's not our fault. We've got a computer doing the stream and it's doing its best. Been on the phone to Virgin Media. Virgin Media, I just got to quickly get this out. We had the Skybox taken out and the Virgin Media Telebox put in. Virgin Media already run our internet, so we didn't have to change that. We had the Skybox taken out and the Virgin Media box put in. And when they did that, they fucked it up. And Virgin Media, I called them yesterday. They think we're not attached. They think we don't have an account. They were like, well, you've got a new telly. Does that work? And I said, yeah, the telly's working fine. They said, well, that's weird because it says on our end that you haven't registered it and it's not set up. And you're in the process of doing that and there's an open ticket and therefore you don't have any service. And I was like, well, what do you mean I don't have any service? I've been downloading and I can watch things on the computer. I just can't upload. And they said, well, you can't upload because you haven't got any service. We'll get someone around on Saturday. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to get this show on the road in just a second. But I'm going to make a note. I'm going to do one of our notes. So let's get the note. And what does it need to say? It needs to say stream choppy due to Virgin Media resolved in Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 3 days. Apologies. Apologies I've written. I'm not very good at spelling, and the keyboard apologies, because it's not wired in, it just chooses not to say some letters sometimes. Just thinks, fuck it, just don't say the letters sometimes. That's fine. Okay, so we've got that. It says that on the stream. Now everyone will be able to see that the whole time. Let me make sure I copy that note over to our web browsing page, which is where we've got the big picture. And I will just paste that note, won't I? If I just do this, paste duplicate, there we go. So now we know what's going on. Let me pop out the chat. Hello, Knuckles, oi oi. How's it going? Once I've got chat popped out, I should be able to turn chat into a window on my screen. Now, I'm also doing this recording. This is new to me as well. I'm also doing recording. So I'm going to run the stream live, but it's going to record it for us on the hard drive, and then I'll be able to upload it without any choppy problems. So today's going to feel a little bit like a radio show or a podcast. Imagine a podcast. You know, they sit there and they talk. I'm going to sit here and talk. I'm not always going to be visually that great because it'll go a bit choppy, but that's all. So imagine it like a podcast. If it does your head in, just come back when I've uploaded. What I'm going to do is I'm going to record it all. I'm going to edit the best bits, and we upload our edits on our channel, Mighty Monday, Ganji Arts, Ganji Cuts, all the other channels we do. So I'm going to upload the edit to Ganji Cuts. I'll tell you on the live stream, oh, I've edited it now, I've got it done. But the problem is, until they come on chuffing Saturday, I can't upload, even if I edit. So this is the problem. We're online, we're streaming, and the stream itself, the uploading, all that, the Virgin box, it's like, oh, here you go, here's some upload. No, you can't have any. Here you go, here's some upload. Oh, no, you can't have any. Here you go, here's some upload. Oh, no, you can't have any. So that's why you're going to see what you see. And I really apologise for it. I did consider just binning it off until, not doing anything until the Virgin is fixed. But you can't do that, can I? I can't do that. I can't leave this. This is so big. So we're going to listen to what Future of the Past Jade has got to say. Now, I will be fair here. Let's do a new window as well. I will be fair here. I've given her a little baseline check. So let me just quickly do this again. Martin Liedtke. This week. And this week, It's us, it's Martin, and it's Jade. We're the ones that are doing the talking. And Jade's channel, I had a little look. Oh my God, what a surprise. Well, I am actually kind of a bit surprised because of all the stuff she's been saying. You know, we're going to look into exactly what she's been saying. But I didn't realise she was actually a full-on mud flooder. She's only been going for a year, so she's not from the original FLATERTH crowd. Or maybe she is, but she's not been uploading that long. She's on the new one, the latest conspiracy theory that they had to turn to because the FLATERTH, I can't say it out loud because it ruins the video of YouTube algorithms, but the FLATERTH, that's which we can prove here, is silly because you can look up in the sky and you'll be able to see the stars. If you take a photograph of the stars on a long exposure, they will rotate. They'll rotate differently in the northern and southern hemisphere, clockwise, anti-clockwise. And then you've got this huge problem, which is that when you look out at the stars, you look south. If you're in the southern hemisphere, you look south, and you all look at the same place because it's south. It's like the North Pole is always south. But if you're on a pancake, when you look out, you're all looking at different places on the south. That's out. It's not down, it's out. So you're all looking at different places. And then you can all see the same thing in the sky at the same time. So that doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. That's how we navigate when you fly. And also when you go on ships, when they go on boats, that's how they navigate. It's been going for a long time. So that's how we know the FLATERTH is a silly idea. It's silly. And because of evidence like that, obvious, irrefutable, massive, you know, big problem evidence. And here's another thing that I need to show you that if you're into this stuff, you really need to understand, is that if you type in, if you go Google Trends, this will be interesting for you. Go Google Trends, you'll see that the new one, Tartaria, oh, I've spelled it wrong, see, Tartaria, this lovely keyboard. The new one, Tartaria, it looks like it's sort of just stable, but if you go over sort of a longer time period, oh my God, it's going up. It's going up. Look, Tartaria. Let's just move my face for a second so you can see this. There you go, look, it's going up. It's going well up. Well, that's good, isn't it? Because everyone's into it. It's, you know, new discoveries. They're all into the new discoveries. It might be that, but also look at this. That's FLATERTH. In 2014, it's suddenly going up. Suddenly going up, wasn't it? So a lot of people started making videos and started making, you know, silly ideas on YouTube, whatever. It was trending up in 2014. It hadn't been before. It was a rubbish, stupid idea that everyone realised is silly for ages. And then 2014, it started to trend up, partly because of the internet, partly because of YouTube and the fact that a lot of older people started to like things like social media started to become a lot more populated by older people as they went on. First of all, there were really young people that were on Facebook in the early 2000s. Then everyone got involved. And then all the young people went off to TikTok, and it was just the old people left on the social media. And they're more likely to share these weird ideas amongst each other. That's just the facts. It's just the facts. You just get a lot more over 30s in this. And over 30s and old, but you know what I'm saying. You know, the young TikTokers are not doing this. So that's how that took off, really. And then it started to die off when people realised it's absolute rubbish. And it is totally in decline now. So if you're making your money from FLATERTH, if you're a conspiracy channel, if you're running conferences or anything like that, you are losing money. YouTube is demonetizing your stuff because it's rubbish, and you're losing money because it's just not interesting to people anymore. It got on the news for a bit. It was a bit of fun, and now it's passed. The trend has passed. So what's lucky for them is that they can basically engineer, funny isn't it, Tartaria, a new trend, and it's going up. Obviously this won't stay up. What goes up must come down, eh? It won't stay up. All right, cool, you're not a FEB, that's cool. Some people are, and I've realised some are going to come here, so I'm going to lay the groundwork quickly, and then we'll open her video and just go, you know, laying into it. She's another one who deletes comments without pointing wrong. But do you know what? Everyone deletes comments, though. I delete the ones where they're just coming here to say really horrible things. But yeah, you know, yeah, these people are going to do things, aren't they? We're going to get, yeah, so this is what I was saying, yeah, this is what I was saying. So this new one is on the way up. It's a new conspiracy thing on the way up. And so what you're going to see is you're going to see people popping up on YouTube making videos about it as if it's like a real thing. it's going to help. Their trending line is going to start going up. They're going to start off like she did, 500 views on a video maximum, and then they're going to start going up. And she's actually doing that. She's getting 2,000 now, 3,000. Her latest one, accusing Martin Liedtke of all sorts of stuff, 3,000 views. So she's in this for the views. She's got 4,000 subs. She's recently become monetized, so she's now making a bit of money. That's what she's doing, making a little money off her little channel. And if we have a little look at what she's doing on the channel,
look at that. There's another 3 stories of house there.
Have you ever wondered what would happen if
I can't even watch 2 seconds of it without an advert.
you actually sat down and talked with missionaries from the Church of Jesus Christ?
A weird advert. But this is
I was
what
talking
she's
about
doing.
you get to the bridge, look over the edge. Look at that. There's another 3 stories of house there. And on this side as well. Below ground level. Because from the front look, it looks like a regular 2-story house with a roof conversion. Around the back, it's a different story.
Literally a different story of the house. So she's either really, really dumb, and she does present as being quite dumb. I'll tell you, she does present as being quite dumb. She's either really dumb, or she's being sneaky, and she thinks this might just be rubbish. I don't know. You know, some of these people don't actually know because they're not that educated. But she thinks it's either completely true and she's trying to rip people off, spread the truth, or she thinks it's a bit dumb but she's getting views for it. Make another video, make another video, make another video. What you can see through her content is there's no variety. We're talking about this. It's something that's piping up in my brain as a little signal as well. Is variety is difficult when you're talking shit. Although you can talk sort of endless shit around a theme, but it's all sort of the same stuff. Edinburgh's Lost Underground, recreating the Marshall Street mud flood, is the cave a melted building. You know, it's the same as all these other channels, isn't it? There's nothing different here, nothing to differentiate it. It's just, you know, pictures off the internet, somebody's video walking down a street and some arrows, and oh, maybe this. We're not going to dispute the conspiracy theories. Look at my previous videos to dispute the conspiracy theories. We know it's rubbish. We know it's rubbish, and we know these people are either deliberately trying to just blag's a good word for it, blag some money on the internet, or they might be actually, you know, a bit more sinister than that, trying to rip people off. I'll have their money. Or they're just that stupid. But I think there's this financial thing involved because it's a monetized YouTube channel that pumps out the adverts, regularly uploads, follows the YouTube algorithmic ideas. It just, you know, it seems like she's in this for a little bit of money. And the other thing that goes along with this, and this is all context and it's important because I'm going to show you what she's saying in a minute and it'll tie in. The other thing that comes along with this, forgot my backlight, thank you. The other thing that comes along with this is that these people are not on their own. They're in what we call a community. An online community. And an online community means everyone's lovely. Right, I've got an ASMR channel, so I can speak from experience on some things. And I've got other channels, I've been on YouTube for a while. I just want to tell you a quick story about the ASMR channel. When I first started the ASMR, and what is ASMR? Oh, it's, don't worry. If you don't know what it is, don't worry. It's nothing. It doesn't matter. I'm not trying to show you my channel or bother you. But on my channel, I've got like 15,000 subs, and I went through the whole thing of, you know, growth and people all coming. Oh, I love your videos. Oh, and your video's nice. Have you seen my channel? My name's so and so ASMR as well, and I do ASMR as well, and we're all friends. And I'm like, I don't even know you. Who are you? It looks like you're trying to get some marketing out of my work because my video's got a lot of views, and you're all here commenting on it, whereas you're not commenting on my video that doesn't have a lot of views because you're not watching my work. You're just here because this one's popular. And anyway, you know, I can see through some of these things. YouTube tells them to do it. That's how it works, isn't it? That's how it works. Whatever. But one of the weirdest things that happened was it was a really open and helpful, positive community. And a community. And then some of the people that I didn't know from Adam, literally didn't know, started sending me like Facebook saying like, these are my friends, you can't talk to them. And like, you know, who are you coming into our community, shaking things up? You're not welcome here. There was one woman who was a real bitch. I'll say the B word because it's appropriate here. It's not a nice word. I don't like it very much. It's not. It's very derogatory to women. But she was just nasty to me for no reason. And it turned out she'd done it to someone else in the past. So I turned my back on her and her friends and said, keep your friends. I don't care. You know, I'm not in it for that. I'm not desperate for people to like me like you are with your, you know, 1,000 views a video, whatever. So Yeah, I've seen it in action. I've also seen the podcast wars. I don't know if you've seen the podcast wars. You get these people who want to be Joe Rogan. You get Sean Atwood, who was in prison. And you get all the other people who spring up who've been on the... I was on a podcast, says this man, who went to prison once for doing something bad. I could do my own podcast, he thinks. But he doesn't know anything about podcasting or media. So he just starts chatting to people in a room. And it all goes on from there. And then they start backbiting. And I don't like that your podcast has got all the views. And that's my guest. And I'm going to shut you down. And have you heard what so-and-so did? And have you seen his police record? And they make a video and make a video and make a video, and then so-and-so is getting taken down. They're taken down. I don't know if you've noticed, but this is YouTube, yeah? This is YouTube. In the world of YouTube, they're all backbiting, sending each other copyright strikes, taken down. In their world, in this FEB world, it's started. It might not have always been like this, but it's definitely started. What's happening is people are trying to backbite each other so they can take each other down, because the minute you shoot down a Martin Liedtke, his viewers have got to go somewhere. They can come to me. I'll be the big channel. And then between them, they're all going to be nice to each other's faces, but they're going to stab each other in the back because they don't see it as a real community where we all share and help. They think, while you're watching your videos, you're not watching mine. While you're watching their videos, you're not watching mine. You think they're brilliant, but you should think I'm brilliant. I'm going to be the biggest one. And the best way to do it is just to get people off the channel, get people off YouTube, make people hate them, get rid of them. School campaign, schoolboy hate, school bully campaign, witch hunt, whatever. If you can do anything along that lines, that's some people's agenda. That's the way some people work. I've seen it in ASMR. I've seen it in podcasting. Now I'm seeing it in this. The only difference here is I'm on the outside. I'm looking in and I can see it for what it is. It's so funny. It's so funny. So, she went to York. Ooh, she went to university, so she's not that dumb. But these days, you can pay to get into university, essentially, if you can just cover the... Like, I saw some people getting degrees, and I sat with them and talked to them, and they were just dumb as fuck. But they were able to regurgitate what was in the books for a certain price. So I don't know these days. I don't know. I didn't get my degree, but that's by the by. That's by the by. See, look, you know about the podcast wars. I'm not going to cast judgments on any of that. I'm just, it goes on. I know it goes on. We all know it goes on, yeah? That might be what's going on here. I'm not saying it definitely is until we look and see evidence. But I'm saying, I'm setting the scene. She's in the same world as them. She's making videos just like them. She's not as popular as them, but she damn well wants to be. That's why she's on YouTube. She's got a face in all her videos. She started to become more present in her videos, like literally her walking around and in her car and stuff. She wants to be a personality on YouTube. She started to make money from it. No one can argue with this. No one can argue with this. She started to make money from it. She wants to make more money from it. Like, I'm reading this from what it says here on her page. She's been a free thinker since 2009. Wow. When she discovered the hidden sociites. I don't know what that means. The channel's dedicated to exploring alternative theories of history. I'm not here to prove anything to anyone, simply here to share some cool places and explore some alternative narratives. This is something I always find funny, is that they don't want to prove anything without any actual evidence where you can get into a discussion. I'll tell you for why. Because if you try to do that, you get ruined. Yeah, you get ruined. The reason we don't want to start talking about proof and evidence is because you get totally ruined. So it's better to, like when they found this out about the FLT-ERTH, they thought we need to bin that off. We need a conspiracy theory that people can't just say is rubbish. They can't prove in one fell swoop is rubbish with physics or astronomy. So they've gone for something that is a bit more vague. And that's why she says she's not here to prove anything. She just wants to share cool places and alternative narratives. Now, we're always told to question the narrative. That's what we're doing today. She's going to present us with a narrative and we're going to question it. If you're open-minded and enjoy looking at history, geography and mystical places, you're in the right place. If you want to learn about spelling, punctuation and grammar, you're in the wrong place. If you would like to support this channel, PayPal me. Straight in there with the money. Straight in there with the money. You'll see I've got my Tippy thing on screen because I'm a pro streamer. But straight in there with the money, eh? Or go to her shop. Thank you for being here to pay me money. This is in no way, shape or form anything other than make me some money, isn't it? That's what it's not about alternative theories, telling some funny stories to get Jade paid. That's what she's here for. I'm not wrong in saying that. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Right, we'll get into it. I will reiterate all the time today, my stream is choppy. Virgin Media are going to come and fix it on Saturday. I can't help it. I'm recording it at the same time, so I'll be able to edit the recording and make a good body language video to prove all the things I'm saying. I've got relaxing music in the background. I've got Jade about to tell us what's going down. She's got 40 minutes of video. It's going to take a while. I'm going to chat all the way through it. It's going to take a while, but there are some really big ones. And I'll tell you something, there's a really big signal at the end, towards the end of this video, like a huge red flag signal, something that I can show you what it is, and you'll say, no, I see that. That's true. I see that. Okay, so we'll get going. I'll just check. I didn't do a sound check. I didn't do it at the same time, so I'll be able to edit. It doesn't matter, I'm not going to be in sync because you won't be able to see me properly because I'm all herky-jerky. So I won't even be able to do this for the edit, but I like to do this for the edit. Okay. Now, I am expecting some, you know, Martin people and some Jade people. The final thing I really wanted to be clear, I only met these people through the internet, through looking at these videos, only a couple of months ago, and I'm an internet streamer, talker person. I'm not in their world. I'm not in their lives. I don't have a side in the fight. I don't have an agenda. None of that. Nothing to do, like none of that. Not bothered with that. All I'm bothered with is telling the truth as I see it. And I'm quite good at it. I've worked with people for about 15 years on a one-to-one basis as a hairdresser. I know it sounds silly, but you get to know people. And before that, I went to university to study psychology and studies in social psychology. So I had an interest in people. So for all this time, I've been studying body language. I don't have a big body language therapist certificate. You can't get one. There's no such thing. But I'm quite good at it. You can trust me. You don't have to. I'll show you what I mean. I'll tell you what I say. I'll show you why I say it. And you can either accept it or not. You can critique it or not. Let's question a narrative.
Didn't want to have to ever do. I didn't think I'd ever have to make this. But I'm here to set the record straight about everything that's happened. I'm sure you're wondering from my post what the heck has happened. I've seen a few people speculating, and I'm going
to stop the relaxing music because I think we have to just have, you know, silence for this because it's reading her body language and a little ditty in the background doesn't quite fit. But I said in yesterday's upload, and I'll reiterate because it's, you know, a new episode, is that she said at the start of this, the classic YouTuber, I don't want to have to make, I never thought I was going to have to make this video. I never thought I was going to have to make this video. Well, if you don't want to make it, don't make it. If you do want to make it, make it. Okay, and if you like doing something, you'll be smiling. Let's have a look.
Hi everyone, and welcome to this video. It's a video that I didn't want to have to ever do.
She says she didn't want to have to ever do. Oh, let me just move her up a bit so you can get her full head. And you can see a smile on her face.
I didn't think I'd ever have.
And then she looks over and we've got the new, I'll show you the neuro. I don't want to get you too bogged down with this. I don't want you to get too bogged down with this. But NLP eyes, right, I'll have this for my own benefit to remind me as well. But this is not something that is simply a case of someone looks a certain direction and it means this. That's not exactly what it means, but this is a good base for us to jump off we do use this in thinking about how people are thinking. Neuro-linguistic programming, it's called. So we're going to be looking at her straight on, assuming she's not flipped her image. If she's looking to what we see as the left, her right, yeah, she's making stuff up. You see on this iPad, it's red. It's problems, it's visual constructed, auditory constructed, feelings, tastes, smells, working through her feelings. Down is okay. Auditory feelings, self-dialogue on the other side. To our right, to her left, auditory recall, visual recall, telling the truth. So if she's looking in one of these directions, that's an indicator. The rest of her body language would also sing or indicate whether she is telling the truth. Only for certain things, not for everything. You know, she might see a fly in the room or be reading a script, which she is here. So we have to be careful with it. That's why I looked at some of her other videos for a baseline. But that's one of the things I'm going to be referencing. It's just one of the things. It doesn't mean that if you look in a certain direction, you're telling the truth or a lie. You have to put the rest of the picture together, which is why here I can see the slightly one raised eyebrow, a slight one-sided shoulder shrug, and a holding back of a smile, because she is basically telling a lie. She does want to make this video. It's not that, you see, the lies are complicated because you certainly either believe what you're saying or you don't believe what you're saying, but you say it anyway. But it doesn't mean it's true or false. I could think the pyramids are in Paris. I could believe it. So when I say it on a lie detector, I'm going to come up true. Pyramids are in Paris. Doesn't mean it's true. It means it's my truth. So for her, her truth is she does want to make this video, and she's telling you she doesn't, and she can't help but sort of give away the fact that she does. She wants to because she thinks she's going to get something out of this, maybe a lot of views. She's a bit excited. Another really big tell, is that her pupils are very dilated. If you watch this video, watch my edit, whatever, her pupils are really dilated. And what this shows us is that she's either aroused. Now, I don't mean sexual arousal, although it can veer into that. But arousal can mean, oh, I love that spaghetti. Oh, that's a nice puppy. You know, like, oh, that's an expensive jumper. You know, arousal can be whatever you are aroused by. In this case, it's conflict for her. She's excited by the concepts that she's about to. She's not scared necessarily. She could be, but I don't see the other signs of fear in her. I don't see the withdrawal, and I don't see there's certain aspects of fear that I just don't see on her body language. So what I'm thinking is this is arousal in terms of excitement, and it's this thing where some people become. Bully's a funny word, but antagonist is a better word. They're the source of the fight. They're the source of the drama. They're the source of the issues. And it doesn't matter. You could put them in a dark room on their own and they'd have a fight with the light switch. You know, it's those sort of people, and they do it because they enjoy it. They don't know that they enjoy it. They don't think, I love fighting. Let's have a fight today. Put it in my diary. Today I must have a fight. But it motivates them internally. They don't understand their own psychology. It motivates them internally. I think she's like that.
That I'm here to set the record straight about.
I would warrant that she doesn't go more than a month without some sort of drama, and that she is the centre of the storms.
Everything that's happened. I'm sure you're wondering from my post what the heck has happened. I've seen a few people speculating, and I've also seen a few people trying to take matters into their own hands.
And she said, we did a little bit of this yesterday, but she does this like 5-minute preamble where she raises the ideas like, oh, someone's done something really bad. So someone's done something really bad. They could be so bad they might have to go to prison. Or you shouldn't do bad things to women. Or you know, like she says things that are just like not definite accusations, but vagaries. So you start getting emotional. Oh, what have they done? Oh, what did they say to you? Oh, tell me. You know, this is the behaviour of someone who's used to spinning these stories, spinning stories to get people on their side. This is the behaviour of someone who's trying to manipulate people to be on her side. She's not telling you the facts as is. She's creating a certain. Now remember, there's two sides to every story. There's Martin in this. There's Martin's side. There's her side. It's not two. There's three sides. Martin's side, her side, and the truth. And she is not telling the truth. She is showing us signals of cognitive stress, which don't add up. If you're telling that, you just say the things. Cognitive stress while she's creating her methodology in her mind, but also other signals as well of deceit and manipulation.
And I don't condone that. I don't condone anyone messaging the people involved. I don't condone anyone sending threats or doxing anybody. The people,
which is weird as well. She brings those things up because they're the things that she kind of wants people to do. That's why she's brought them up. You wouldn't bring up things that don't. I do want the relaxing music because I'm finding this a bit stressful myself. So let's see if we can find some relaxing music that's not Nintendo based, because it's a little bit. You know what? And it's not appropriate. That's why it's a little bit inappropriate. But let's find relaxing game music that is appropriate. We've got a couple of these that are really chill that we have on in the background. I think the PlayStation one works quite well. So let's hope that this can be acceptable for everyone, because I like to chill and I don't like to get all ranty and ravey, but I'm having to today, you know. Admitting the truth when it suits the story. She's gonna tell this her way.
People that are involved and the people that are guilty of what they've done know what they've done, and we don't need to get involved with it like that. I'm simply.
And I'll break this down as well. She said the people involved know what they've done, so there's no question here. People have done something. She's not saying maybe this, maybe that. She's saying these people are guilty. She's not telling you what of, and she's not telling you how and why. She'll get to that maybe, but before she gets to that, she wants you to be on her side and accept her premise. These people are guilty. Are they? Those bastard people, those evil men, have they tried to do a rape on you? Those horrible men. Like, calm down, love, and just tell us what's going on, and let us decide how guilty, how evil, how bad.
Bringing you this warning of what these people did, so I can stop other people.
That's where she's reading the script. She's looking down there at the script. She's reading the script there. So it's hard to judge her neuro-linguistic programming and body language. And you'll see when she does it, she goes a bit still. Obviously on my stream, really choppy, Virgin Media problems, she goes a bit still. But she does go a bit still. And that's an indication as well that she's not involved in her own speech, moving around, articulate, but she's still reading the script.
Of what these people did, so I can stop other people being...
And you see she starts to move around now. Starts to move around. What she's looking to stop other people being, she's actually looking up into an actual memory here. So I think she has had memories of this thing happening to her. Maybe not Martin doing it. Looking into images from memory. Images from memory. So maybe it's not Martin that's been doing it to her, but someone, or she's seen maybe someone else go through some of this stuff.
In the same situation I ended up in from their irresponsible, selfish behaviour. I trusted these people.
So I accept that she's been in a situation from selfish behaviour. I don't know who's done that situation. It could have happened to her before in her past. She could be the victim of some sort of abusive or difficult relationship, and she's now learned how to play these roles. She's learned how to manipulate people on those levels. It might not be that Martin's been the one doing it to her. Bear that in mind.
I thought they were genuine and honest, and it turns out they're just full of lies and deception. And
again, she thought they were genuine and honest, and they're full of lies and deception. She's telling you facts without any... This is conjecture. Objection. Hearsay. This is her just saying things. And look, she's got a smile on her face now. She's smiling when she says those particularly nasty things. She's covering up the pokey stick with a little bit of language. What she's actually saying is something really serious, but she's not giving us the evidence. So she wants that to settle into your brain as a seed, as an idea that these people are bad. I've told you they're bad. Let's keep talking.
I'm now having to make this tower moment so people know what type of people they really are. I am going to have to speak about, like...
And when she said what type of people they really are, she shook her head and looked away. And that wasn't a look away into her memory. When you construct your thoughts, you look a certain direction while you're thinking, and then you talk. When you finish your thoughts, you look away. That's different. Finishing your thought and looking away and shaking your head is an indication of deceit. It's like your body not able to keep the lie down.
So people know what type of people they really are.
And that, the surprise in the eyes, oh my God, I've said it. This is that when she says, you know, it's natural, you know internally, this is the actual nuts and bolts of what I'm saying here. This is the accusation. And she surprises her, oh, I've said that then. Okay, let's live in that world where I've said it now. A little bit of a smile still.
I am going to have to speak about...
And heavily edited. She edits her video really heavily. Martin and his friend weren't sophisticated enough to edit their video. Not even sophisticated enough to raise the volume. But, here's me critiquing. Virgin Media have let me down on the internet. So Virgin Media don't even know I'm uploading today. They think I officially don't have an account. So, but we'll fix that on Saturday. She'll never fix her issues.
Like, I guess, like...
And she's looking into... I'm gonna really rip into it, of course.
Type of people they really are. I am going to have to speak about, like...
And you'll notice through this, I'll set up a premise here now. You'll notice she becomes like an annoying teenager. She's 30 years old. She's going to become like an annoying teenager the more and more we listen to her talk. You're going to start to recognise a bully from a school, like a schoolyard bully, a girl that grabs people and says, "Oh, have you heard what he said? Why don't you go and punch him? He said this about you." You know, that person. The person who corrals other people to be on her side. Like, you know, an argument starts to break out or a discussion starts, and before you're finishing your point about what she's saying, she's off gathering people. And you're like, why do you need to gather people? It's just us having a chat. No, everyone come round and listen to what he said to me, the bastard. That's what you're going to see in her.
I guess, like, the mental side of things.
So she's making up this thing about mental side. There's no problem with her with the mental side. I am going to have to speak about, like, and this is, she's looking into constructed. So the things she's going to have to speak about that she's going to tell us now are things she's going to make up.
People know what type of people they really are. I am going to have to speak about, like, I guess, like, the mental side of things.
And you notice she has, I guess, like, I'm going to speak about, I guess, like, she's not on script there. She's making it up. She's not going to her memory and remembering an event and thinking, oh God, that was bad. I'm going to have to speak about that. Different body language here. Looking into construction, the wide dilated pupils of arousal, because she enjoys lying and enjoys causing trouble. The slight sneer on the nose that you can see, the slight pinching here of the nose and the slight sneering of the lips. That is feeling above people and thinking you're better than them and sneering down at them. Those signals are all very clearly on display when she looks into her constructed ideas about the abuses or whatever she's going to now recount. So it's part of a lie.
Yeah, I am going to have to speak about, like, I guess, like, the mental side of things with all of this as well. It's not just a case of I've been wronged and ripped off.
It's not that at all. You notice how she says it's not just a case of that. It's not a case of that. She says it's not a case of that, and then sticks out her tongue, which is a sign of petulance. Young children do this. It's not literally as explicit as that, but it's another sign that she's telling a lie. That little tongue push. Got one over on you. You're stupid. And it's, again, another terrible, terrible signal. She could be giving us different signals. This doesn't prove she's a liar. But if I were to sit one-on-one with this person and see this, I would be mentally writing off what she's saying. You don't have to. You can trust her. If you can trust her, you can trust her. If you know her and you're down with her and you spent that time with her and you can validate that what I'm saying is not true, fine. I'm just a guy on the internet. Make your own opinion. I don't have an iron in this fire. I don't have a dog in the fight. This is what I'm seeing. I've got extensive experience. I've got a YouTube channel with, like, I'm not even going to get into my other YouTube channels. It's irrelevant. It doesn't give me any validity that people believe me. That's irrelevant. But they do. So, and I can tell you why, can't I? Look, I've given you the physical things that I'm looking at and showing you, and you can look them up and find out they're true.
It's not just a case of I've been wronged and ripped off. It's a case of I've been mentally, like, manipulated, and
she doesn't believe that. Again, you'll see the
it's a case.
She's searching now, and she's looking down. We know there's a script over there, so I don't know when she's looking at notes, but she's searching for something here, maybe in her own feelings.
If I've been mentally, like,
but when she says it mentally, like, it's a surprise in the eyebrows again. She doesn't. These are micro cues. They're not big. They're not big.
Ripped off. It's a case of I've been.
I'm trying to do a face like hers. You might not be able to see it because of my choppy internet, but maybe face.
Mental.
And then that raised the eyebrows.
Like, manipulated.
And manipulated gets a big look up at you with big, wide, starey eyes. Now, quite often when people are lying to you, one of the things they'll want to do is check whether you're taking that bullshit in. They'll want to read your face to see that you're taking that bullshit in. Quite often these manipulators and quite often these people who are skilled in manipulation have learned these skills. Now, I'm going to say this is going to sound horrible, but it might be true. They've learned these skills through their own suffering. Now, I feel sorry for someone who's been through a bully relationship or domestic violence or something like that. She may have grown up with a parent or someone else around her, or maybe someone at school that has been bullying her, and she's had to learn these techniques to manipulate their behaviour to stay on the right side of the bully. Maybe she became part of the gang of bullies. I don't know. But what I would say is that she exhibits behaviour of someone who's learned these techniques to manipulate people. And that isn't always because they're a bitch and a horrible, vicious person. It might be because they're vulnerable, and in their vulnerability, like you go to stroke a cat on its tummy and it bites you. Like, in their vulnerability, they have learned they have to manipulate the world. They don't trust other people. They don't look at other people in the world as allies and helpful and community. They look at them as people to use and manipulate, because bottom line, no one's going to help you. So you'd better fuck everyone else over first, because they're coming to fuck you over. They learn this weird way of being. It's not something I see from Martin. Martin seems to display an archetypal, not victim, but nice guy finish last approach. There are some question marks around some of his behaviour, but then he gets drunk and he smokes weed and has weird ideas. So we will question his behaviour and accept those questions. But up to now, I haven't seen anything indicative of Martin of malice. I've seen mistakes, and we all make mistakes. We all get angry and we all fuck up. But I haven't seen Martin do anything malicious, motivated by malicious. But I'm seeing this video as a maliciously motivated piece. Bear in mind, what we're going to come to is an argument over money between two people that doesn't have to take place on the internet. What we're going to come to is an argument over money between two people that could take place in a small claims court, that could have been settled with a proper business plan and bank account with everyone's name on it. But, when we get to that, I'll dig into that a bit more. But what we're seeing here is an appeal for money on the internet. And it doesn't feel motivated by the same I'm looking to help other people stay safe from Martin things as she says. And I'll tell you why you can guarantee that. I'll tell you how you can see that. It's because for a lot of the time, she stays in the situation when it benefits her. She'll explain herself. She stays there for money. She stays there because she thinks she's going to get money. And then when she decides she's not going to get money, when she realises she's not going to get any more money, because we'll see she has quite a lot, when she sees that, she decides to fuck it off and turn on them. So if it was so bad in the first place, you'd walk. In the same thing in the Johnny Depp trial, the Johnny Depp's lawyer goes up, he says, you know, Amber Heard spent 6 months away from Johnny Depp while she's filming this film, he's filming that film, and then she's begging to get to see him on set, and he's telling her no. She's begging to go. So if you don't like it, walk. If you don't like it, fuck off. But if you do like it, keep coming back and hanging out. And it might be that you're not happy with the situation, but you're getting the money, or you think you're getting the money, or you've got a long-term con or something. We'll look at that. We'll look at that.
And used and gaslit again.
Gaslit, she says. And again, we've got this big look up and over here. It's absolute lies that she's picked out gaslit, visual constructed. She's picked it out. What is gaslighting? I really want to get a definition before we go further. Gaslighting, because it's confusing to me when you start throwing around different ideas. A form of manipulation that often occurs in abusive relationships. It's a covert type of emotional abuse where the bully misleads the target, creating a false narrative and making them question their judgments. Oh, I get it. I know that then. Yeah, I know what you mean. Oh, you know, you're always like this. Oh, yeah, I get it. Question that false. Okay, so what we're looking for here, if gaslighting is to happen, is we're looking for somebody to be covert in their abuse. So they're not going to overtly say, you're a chuffer, I hate you. They're going to say, oh, you know, I thought you were quite nice, but then you did this, and then, you know, then you did that, and then I thought you were quite... So it's like, it's a sneaky way of doing things. They're not going to be on top and out there in the open. They're going to be a bit sneaky. The bully or abuser misleads the target, creates a false narrative, and makes them question their judgment. So they're going to say things making you feel like you're not yourself. You might feel you're nice. They're going to say you're nasty until you start to believe you're nasty or stupid or whatever it is. And they're going to do it in a misleading way. Isn't that what she's doing right now in a way? For me, she's already started to covertly use emotional pools. She's not overtly, she's not, you know, out here saying, look, Martin's done this, this and this, and I'll tell you how and why. She's saying, oh, emotionally, I'm vulnerable and these people have been mean to me and Martin has exploited me. And maybe I'll tell you why in a minute, you know. That might not be true. We don't know. But to her, like, the gaslighting has begun on her side. She's going to paint a picture of Martin. Remember what we just said about gaslighting? It's misleading the target, creating a false narrative, making them question their judgments. She's going to paint a picture of Martin that we're not used to seeing. And it might be true, or it might be the gaslight. You'll have to decide for yourself.
It's gaslighting, isn't it?
Is it gaslighting? I don't know. You haven't given me an example of anything. You've just said, oh, it's gaslighting, innit? Is it? I don't know. You haven't given me an example of anything.
A lot of stuff that...
Now she looks into her memory, a lot of stuff.
I didn't realise was happening until now, really. Like, afterwards, I'm like reflecting on the situation, seeing where the red flags were and the...
Red flags is a buzzword. Again, she's giving us all the buzzwords to make you feel like she's right. Because if you're not that switched on and you're not listening properly, you might think she's told you something here where she hasn't. She's used the buzzwords, red flags, gaslit, but she hasn't said, he gaslit me by doing X, Y, Z. That's terrible. Martin's a bad person. No, she said, oh, I gaslit and the red flag. And if you're just absently minded listening, if you've got a lazy brain, you might hear that and say, Martin's a bad person. But that's objection hearsay. She's just saying it. She's not actually telling us how it went down.
Manipulative behaviour was. Anyway, so the subject matter, it does revolve somewhat around...
This is going to be truthful. Whatever she's about to say now, she's looked deeply into her thoughts and feelings.
The subject matter, it does...
And then into her remembered visual. Let me just... Because sometimes I get visual and... sounds mixed up, sorry. Remembered sounds. So she's, and this is different for different people. Some people have remembered sounds as someone talking, you know, the things they've heard. Some people remember the sound of something happening when they remember the event, you know. But she's looking into her actual memories.
Revolve somewhat around...
And that constructed, yeah.
Finances.
Finances, right. It's about money. But then the next thing she's about to say now is a bit of a lie.
But the bigger thing to all of this...
See what I'm saying? You can see it in action. So you see her looking into her memories and feeling a bit anxious about the truth.
Somewhat around finances.
So it's about money, finances, and she's anxious about that. She's here scrutting for money and she's anxious about that. And she's got a smile when she says it. Another indicator of this attempt to deceive. And then her look into her memory, into her making things up space is the next thought.
But the bigger thing to all...
The bigger thing, and she kind of does that, which it's not a bigger thing. And she's doing this with her hands here, which is actually an expression of like, give me, give me, me, give me. And that's because she's asked for the money and now it's time to give it her and she's going to now lay on the emotion, so you do.
All of this is more like how these people behaved. I don't care about the money side of...
I don't care about the money side of things. And she shakes her head like that. It's like a stretch, like she was looking into her truth and it was a problem. It conflicted with what she was saying.
More like how these people behaved. I don't care about the money...
I've just noticed her hair on top. That's not a parting, it's a divorce, isn't it?
Money side of this anymore. What I care about is the fact that there's been lies and deception.
She's looking now into making things up. These statements here are made up.
Money side of this anymore. What I care about is the fact that there's been lies and deception and I need to stop other people from falling for it. So
that, and the expression, the believe me look, bear in mind everything I say today is just my opinion. It's just my reading of the body language. You can think what you want. I don't have to be right. I can be completely wrong. It's just a story. It's just ideas. It's a story I'm reading from her face. And she's now just, in my opinion, just told me a barefaced lie.
So it's up to...
And that lie is...
deception, and I need to stop other people from falling for it.
I need to stop other people from falling for it. Remember, she went through this for months. Didn't care about other people at all. Has never cared about other people whatsoever. Is making these videos to confuse people, to get money off the internet. Has never shown any regard for anyone else apart from herself. Never at all. But now, right at the end of it all, she's got this noble duty to protect the world from the evil Martin Liedtke, who she lived with for months, apparently, and, went on this tour with and invited to sleep in her van. And, now she's going to save the world from this evil man when it suits her and she can be financially profited by it. I don't believe her intentions are to help save the other people. From what she's shown me, she seems completely self-indulgent, completely self-absorbed.
So it's up to you what you do after this. I'm not telling you to unsubscribe from any...
When she looked over into her actual feelings and memories, what she does want you to do is to unsubscribe. That's why she can hardly hold back the smile when she tells you to unsubscribe. I'm not telling you to unsubscribe. I'm not telling you to go out. Hey, I'm not telling you to go out. I'm not telling you to open the door like that because I can hear the cat meowing. Are you in my... Oh, do you want to come in here? Come on, you son. In here? Yeah. Okay, cat. I'm not telling you to go out. It's like reverse psychology. It's the basics, isn't it? Everyone knows that. I'm not, not telling you to do this. If you haven't read that in Now magazine by now, you're not even, what did you study at York University? If you don't know that saying to somebody not to do something is telling them to do it, then you're an idiot. But everyone knows it. Everyone knows it's the truth. Everyone knows it's... smiling could be anxiety. Yeah, anxiety would come out in other ways as well, though. This is the thing, is that it's a complex dance, this is. And I would see anxiety as a different way of using the eyes, a more higher tempo looking around. Escape you'd be looking for with anxiety. There'd be some look for escape. And I certainly wouldn't see that dilation. Maybe you could see it in fear. But the way the dilation, the confidence in this expression, the square on, the solidity of it, and the fact that it's being held back a little bit. When you're anxious and, signs come through that you're anxious that don't seem like anxiety signs, laughing, joking, they come through. You don't have to hold them back. You're not even trying to hold them back because you're anxious. So this I don't see as anxiety. I see this as...
Or anything. It's up to you what you do after this. I'm not telling you to unsubscribe from anyone or anything like that. You can make your own decision. I'm just bringing forth this information from my personal experience with these people.
I just see that it's troublesome in all sorts of ways, and I actually see it as her attempt to rally the troops.
Okay, so I'm going to start from the beginning of what happened. Bear with me, it's going to be very long, but I need to be able to explain the whole picture so you can understand what's really...
There's all sorts of body language going on, but I'm going to have to just let it go until we get some really big signals now, because it's 40 minutes long, and I've already done loads, but at least you know now the depth and pace of my thinking and why it takes so long.
Happened here. And if I miss anything out, it's not deliberate. It's simply the fact that I've forgotten, because there's been that much involved in this, and it's been that complex with that many different scenarios and situations mixed together. There's bound to be some information missing.
So there's a indication here of her doing this with her hands about things getting mixed together. What she's actually doing is she's putting her hands on to push it down to keep a lid, to be in control of it. And she has made extensive notes, and she's reading a script. So that's a bullshit lie. You know, I can't fit everything. I can't say everything. It's just too complex. It's not. It's really straightforward. Actually, it's really straightforward. And you've made a load of notes about it, so you're going to tell us about it. But you're telling us something different.
So, okay, so I guess I'll start how I met Martin. I had an email from...
And why this again? Why looking into the fake, making it up?
India at Holistic Media and Martin asking me to be a part of the Flat Earth British Conference.
That's a bit true. They did ask her to be a part of the conference, I think.
In September last year, and I was honoured to be asked to speak in it, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe
reading the
people
script.
would ask me to go on there and present anything. So I was really over the moon, terrified, but I was over the moon. And that's the first time I've ever met Martin at that conference. And that weekend, I hung out with him and some of his friends. Everything seemed okay. I was a little bit taken back by it all, because I've seen these people online for a while.
Right, she has seen these people online, yes. You're going to say to me now, hang on, she's seen the people online, but you're telling me she's lying because she's making it up. So what you have to understand here is she's not making up the part where she's seen them online. We know that's true. But she's going to make up her emotional response to it. Her instinctive feeling that she can't tell you is one thing. So she's going to look away from that into her making up feelings, into her making up images. So when people are making things up, we've got different learning styles, but you could make up a picture of it in your head and then tell people that, or there's different, but she's making it up is essentially the bottom line here.
It's a little bit taken back by it all, because I've seen these people online for a while, and it's weird actually being there in person. So I was starstruck.
That's that man behind the camera says starstruck, and she doesn't. She uses his word. And I think that, again, it's because she's quite happy to take somebody else's word, because she's not... Whatever she's thought of initially, she don't want to say. So now she's trying to make up something else.
And I was a little bit not really... didn't really have my guards up as much as I should either. I was naive about Martin and who he is, so I kind of trusted him a lot. But anyway, as time went on, we had a nice weekend.
And I don't think you grow up to be this age, 30 years old, live in Leeds in the UK, and be that naive. She paints herself out to be a naive little girl, but actually she's quite switched on and she knows what's going on. You don't grow up to be that age and just I'll just go home with this man. Oh, whoops, I got raped. Come on, don't be silly. That's not how it works. You're not that naive. You got at least, you know what, you got your wits and shits about you, haven't you? As
time went on, my life, a lot of stuff happened in my life, what brought me into a situation where I had to find somewhere temporarily to live until I finished the van I was living in. So I was renting a room in a house.
She looks up a lot at these things with her truth of her life, and I don't know if that's the truth of her life even, or if she's just making up a picture.
With one of Martin's friends, because they had a spare room and they knew I was in a bad situation. That's like making up a picture. I think what she's doing is she's what we'd probably say embellishing. She probably didn't have many good options of places to live, but she doesn't want to say that. And she probably didn't have these props. She's making a bigger picture of it all. She's trying to paint a picture for us. She's trying to create a big image. And in her mind, she's got that, this is what I want them to see and think. This is the way she's making a picture of her past that's not the truth. It's not the truth. It's like a version of it. And Martin was messaging me. I didn't have anyone else to message. Or maybe this guy is holding something up behind the camera for her to read. Maybe that. But if not that, this is just purely, again, I'll reference the NLP eyes, but it's not one thing. It's not just the eyes. But look, this is made up images, constructed, made up images. You can make up images about your past if you don't remember it very well. But usually you'd look to the things that you instinctively remember.
and then over to the made up images. Not here, just like in it deeply, making up images. This is a red flag, bad signal. But it doesn't mean she's a liar. It just means she's not. She's constructing a story for us out of pictures in her mind.
And it was just, I was so grateful for these people for helping me. I couldn't believe the kindness and stuff. So again, was really naive about these.
And she did 2 quick looks into her made up sounds as well. It is a confusing blend, and sometimes you have to watch this several times. I'm not going to promise I get this bang on every time, but what was they saying to her? She had to check what they were saying to her.
Believe the kindness and stuff. So I really, again, was really naive about these people. I thought they were as they were presenting themselves. Yeah. Oh,
she was checking what she was saying. I'm going to say naive. Yeah, checking her own language. It's a bundle of red flags. This is a bundle of red flags. Wondering how India is involved in this. Yeah, we'll get to that actually. I did have a little preview of this because I wanted to make sure I was, not just going to talk a load of shit. So we'll get to India, and it gets deep. It does get deep.
Yeah, I trusted them. I really did. I thought they were one of us. I thought they were real. But over time of living there, I had to use that time to build my van to live in. I only had a short period of time to get it done, and it came a point where I couldn't finish it because I was financially unable to.
You know that when she talks about that, she's telling the truth here. The van
to live in. I only had a short period of time to get.
I don't know about only had a short period of time. That's bullshit. I don't know about. She says that. Sorry, I'm just adjusting my light settings. Which doesn't matter because you can't see me properly anyway. Thanks to Virgin Media.
Get it done, and it came a point.
It's so heavily edited and got edited. Just the word "and" got edited, or it might be my internet being choppy, but it felt like just the word "and" got edited. Oh, don't climb up there, son. Do you want to go out? All right, come on. I'm gonna have to let the cat out. Go on, son. Silly cat. Sorry for my being distracted. I do apologise.
Where I couldn't finish it because I was financially unable to. I was waiting to go up to Scotland to start work, but I couldn't do that until my van was finished.
There's all sorts of bullshit in this as well. There's all sorts of bullshit, but here we get to a very critical point that we're going to, bring up again. She needs this van finished. She's mentioned it twice, 3 times. It's about this van. She's staring down the barrel of the camera. She's quite aggressive when she talks about this van. Her hand comes out and starts to wave. Signs of aggression, signs of anger. There's a lot involved in this van.
There came a point where I couldn't finish it because I was financially unable to.
It's edited in the middle, so I can't really go on that one. It's edited in the middle, and she laughs and looks away into the lying part of the eyes. So is that a great big sign of deceit? It's this one is, what you're saying before about anxiety. That's anxiety. That's not so much straight deceit, more anxiety. Looking away, laughing about it. Not wanting to. This might not be looking into the lying section of the brain. It might just be looking away because she said something that made her feel anxious, and then she wants to escape and laugh it off. But
I couldn't finish it because I was financially unable to.
So it was edited as well, so it's really hard to judge that. But she's telling us from her own true memories, from her own real feelings, that she's financially unable to do this thing with her van. So obviously she's not got enough money to fix up her van.
Waiting to go up to Scotland to start work, but I couldn't do that until my van was finished.
Till my van was finished, pushing the hand with the van again. So it's about this van, and there's some aggression behind the van.
I was in a bit of a
she did this with her hands, which is actually subconscious driving the van, isn't it? Driving the van, being in charge, control. So there's a lot of her self and identity tied up in this van, maybe.
Up to Scotland to start work, but I couldn't do that until my van was finished. So I was in a bit of a situation where I couldn't get out of it. On New Year, Martin was round. There's
a laugh. Yeah, there's more stress here again. So what I'm reading from this is that she is, like, this van is quite high on her agenda.
And he was telling me how he couldn't pay his rent.
This is a troublesome one as well. She does this a lot. She says something, does both eyes, both directions, and then edits it. And what I think is she'll say something that's true, and then she'll put her spin on it, and then cut the next bit. Because what she's probably done is she's probably said
Martin was round.
Martin was round.
He was telling me how he couldn't pay.
Martin was round, and so Martin was round, true, yeah. And she's looking at what was actually happening. She's thinking about it, and then she was telling me he couldn't pay his rent. So she's got like this compound thing. Martin was round, true. He was telling me about what was happening, true. I'm now going to make up a bit of a lie to stick on the end. False. Embellishment. Could be true. He could have said it, but he could have said it in a different way. You know, like I could say to you, God, you know, it's raining so much today, I think I'm going to drown. And then she could say, Scott thought he was going to drown in the rain. What an idiot. I'm not an idiot. It was a joke. I said it as a joke, but you're deliberately misinterpreting the way I've said it when you tell people. That sort of thing, right? So that's the way she's doing that. And I think the way she's cut off the next thing is because she might have said, Martin was saying he couldn't pay his rent, and then she might tell a really barefaced lie after that. It's like step by step. Martin was saying he couldn't pay his rent, and I said this, and then he said that. And then she's looked at that in the video and gone, oh, that doesn't sound right. I'll cut that bit off.
Get out of it. On New Year, Martin was round, and he was telling me how he couldn't pay his rent. And
see, cuts there. She's probably been part of an argument or part of a discussion where she doesn't appear as brilliant as she wants you to see. So now she's cut that bit.
He was panicking, saying he was going to be made homeless. And then I felt absolutely terrible for him. I thought, that's all horrible. I know.
I don't believe you. You're doing the believe me expression, the raising of the eyebrows. I felt this. Did you? Yeah, did you?
What it feels like to not have anywhere to go.
Oh, it's about you again. I know what it's like to feel like... When you talk about empathy, we talked about this on stream a number of times. If I were to say Martin was struggling because he thinks he can't pay his rent, so he feels like, you know, he might get kicked out on the street. That's terrible, because when you feel like that, you feel anxious and you feel... See, I'm saying you feel this, you feel that, or Martin might feel like really on edge today and really worried. I don't say I feel like this when it happened to me, because when me, I, that's not empathy. That's hearing something about someone else and just thinking about you and how it relates to you and your feelings. That's not empathy. So another flag, irritating signal from me. This is one of these people that I would find difficult to be around for extended periods of time, because she's selfish, self-motivated, financially motivated, doesn't care about other people's feelings, has a manipulative way of being that she's learned over her life, maybe growing up. So she doesn't see it as anything wrong or abnormal, but actually it's a terrible way of being. Her ethics come second to her own priorities.
He was telling me how he couldn't pay his rent, and he was panicking, saying he was going to be made homeless. And then I felt absolutely terrible for him. I thought, that's all horrible. I know what it feels like to not have anywhere to go. We can't let this happen. And
then she looked up into the making it up thing as well. I don't think she knows what it feels like to not have anywhere to go. I think she's probably got a relative or friend who will give her somewhere to stay.
Terrible for him. I thought, that's all horrible. I know what it feels like to not have anywhere to go.
I know what it feels like to not have anywhere to go. Making it up. No. Not, I know what it feels like not having anywhere, remembering what it feels like. No. Made up images. Making it up. From the neurolinguistic programming school of what you're thinking when we read your body language. Future of the past. My stream today is a bit choppy because Virgin Media's terrible internet service. They're going to come around on Saturday and fix it for me, hopefully. So I'm recording this stream and I will edit it later, so you will see all these body language cues on the edit, so they're saved forever.
We can't let this happen. I'm going to make sure, let's think of something, let's collaborate and think of something to be able to help us both out of this situation, because I was stuck and he was stuck. So then I came up with the idea of a tour across the UK, and
that's difficult as well, because she doesn't give us enough. That's edited, so edited, just the sentence, that I can't see the body language either side of it. So I don't know who came up with the tour, but she stares into the camera, which is a worry, because quite often when people are lying to you, they will stare into your eyes because they think people who tell lies can't look you in the eye. So if they look you in the eye, they can't be lying. You know, it's one of those tells.
Oh, horrible. I know what it feels like to not have anywhere to go. We can't let this happen. I'm going to make sure, let's think of something, let's collaborate and think of something to be able to help us both out of this situation, because I was stuck and he was stuck. So then I came up with the idea of a tour across the UK, and Martin was...
There is a little bit of a look to her memory section there, and then Martin was, this is the bit that's made up.
Okay with it. He was down for it. He thought it sounded really good. Well, I didn't arrange a conference for the end of the tour. That was something I wanted to avoid, simply because it's just too much stress.
This is all really broken, but it seems disingenuous to me because she keeps looking into that part of the memory again. I'm going to stop going on and on about these eyes because they happen so often, but it's really one of the biggest clues with this lady. One of the biggest clues. We don't see so much of her hands and other stuff, but in her baseline, on her other videos, she's just head and shoulders, so I'm going off that. But if you go and look at her other videos, she doesn't do this body language, looking around so much when she's talking about the conspiracy stuff.
And organising, and Martin's admitted himself he doesn't like doing conferences.
Oh, there we go. Martin's admitted himself he doesn't like doing conferences. This is a very clever technique. It's a bit of an Amber Hurd. She has got a point to make about this thing, but now she's telling us what Martin said, second-hand information. So you're to believe her about what Martin says and thinks. Don't believe Martin. You know, that's the same school bully thing of, he said this to me and he's a bastard, or she said that to me and she's a bitch. And then you go up to her and say, did you say that? No. Why did she say you said it then? I don't know. Well, she wouldn't say that if she's a... Do you know what I mean? Like, did you say it? No, I didn't mean it like that. I was trying to be nice and she got the wrong end of the stick. Well, I don't believe you. I think she's... It's that. It's not, let's ask Martin and see what he says. It's Martin's... I'm telling you what Martin says. Believe me.
So I thought we'd avoid that and just do this tour and have a good time, meet up with people, bring them an actual educational tour around these cities and have...
Right, now she's shitting on the tour. What she's trying to do now is say that Martin's idea of the tour, we had a 50-50 idea that we came up with it together. But it seems from day one, instigation, there's a divergence of ideas. Martin wants to do... Now, bear in mind, Martin's already done conferences. He's already got books out, yeah? So he's already got books out. So Martin, the concept of a tour might not be like a new idea to Martin, mightn't it? If you print a book, then you're going to have to like go on tour with it. That's basic. Hello, capital K, yeah. The choppiness is going to just persist until Saturday and the internet provider is at fault. So it's really disappointing for me, but I'm going to push through it. We're seeing this as a podcast more than a visual thing, but I'm recording it and I'm going to edit it and put it up so you'll see the actual body language cues in the edit. Yeah.
Like a collaboration, old world thing together that we could all do together and meet people. And it was much more than just like creating something. It was like trying to create something so people could come together. She's
looking down when she's saying this. You know, again, that believe me look has come in now when she's actually looking at you. I don't really believe that. What I don't believe is she's trying to say it's all about the community. What I've tried to do, me, the good person, is try to bring the community together. I'm not here to make money off you and rip you punters off like everyone else, although she does have a channel like everyone else. It's just another one of these convince you with funny ideas, take your money. You know, convince you with funny ideas, take your money. That's what she's doing. Or she could believe them, and in which case she's like still trying to spread them and take your money. But what she's telling us is something different. She's telling us she's a good-hearted person who wanted to do something for the community, despite earlier prioritising her van. Having nowhere to live. What kind of person with nowhere to live and no van, right, is like sitting down saying, you know what we should do is we should bring these people together. I'd think she had bigger fish to fry, but she's telling us bollocks. She's telling us it was all about the community and not about the money.
When we were planning the tour and I asked Martin about what accommodation he was going to use when we're on the tour, he said he wouldn't slum it in a van. He wouldn't sleep in my van.
Right, and that's her. She tilts her head back now slightly. She's getting into her stride here. Remember, we're only seeing a facet of her personality that she's presenting here. The real person is a bit more multifaceted. She's showing us the poor girl who's been shit on, and oh, the poor girl. But here she is about to start an aggressive posture of confidence, and she's much more like this in her normal life. But we're not seeing it on this heavily edited, one-sided video. But here it spills out a little bit when she gets on a high horse about how good Martin is or how shit he is and how brilliant she is. How her ideas are better than Martin's. And Martin wanted to do this, but he's a wanker. And I wanted to do this, but he wouldn't let me. Like, Jesus Christ. If this is day one of your 50-50 split on your tour, you should walk away. If you don't like the way Martin's doing it and he's got a different idea to you, you should have just walked away.
He was going to use when we're on the tour. He said he wouldn't slum it in a van. He wouldn't sleep in my van.
And he's shaking her head. Again, indicative of a lie. That her body language is saying the opposite to what she is saying. And let's point this out as well. She's trying to make an ad hominem attack on Martin here. A personal attack on Martin. This is now not about... you know, the whole video is a personal attack on Martin, I suppose. But it's not about what he did to her. Remember this. She's told you Martin's done something bad to her, or something bad. You know, it's not about that, is it? Whether he wants to sleep in your van or not is not a personal issue. It's not a financial issue. It's not something you can attack Martin for. His feelings about where he wants to sleep are his own. And God damn it, if he had slept in your van, he'd be in the shit now, because you could have said anything went on in there. He's sensible to not want to sleep in your van. And I've been on tour. I've been on tour doing filming. You know, we made a documentary that's been on Netflix about strong men. And, you know, I've done bits and pieces. I expect a hotel room, frankly. If your business is not making enough money to pay me a hotel room, I'm not fucking going on tour. Get real. You're not something special because you think sleeping in your van in the UK is a good idea. That's a stupid idea. Plus, it's terrible for the environment.
He wouldn't sleep in Mel's van, and he was going to be buying hotel rooms. And then I said to him, buying a hotel room every... And he wouldn't sleep in Mel's van, and he was going to be buying hotel rooms. And then I said to him, did you? Because you're looking up like you're making it up. Either you're making up what you said, or you're making up that you said it because somebody else said it. I don't know, but it doesn't look very honest to me. Maybe not the exact... Maybe you're rewording what you said, because maybe you said it in a different way. Maybe you said the same principle of stuff. Maybe you said, for fuck's sake, Martin, I can't believe you're not going to fucking sleep in my van. You know, maybe it came across that you're making something up here. I said to him, buying a hotel room every night is going to be really expensive for 3 weeks. It doesn't make sense to even put on a tour to make any kind of profit from your effort if you're going to be spending the profits on a hotel room every night.
On a hotel room every night. I got you there, haven't I? Because I'm smarter than you. No, you're not. Everyone sleeps in hotel rooms. If you're not making enough money on the tour to get a hotel room, you shouldn't be doing the tour. That's the critical point, not whether you should sleep in a van or not. It is not normal or common to sleep in a van. You've not won any argument here, won any side, and Martin is not being greedy by wanting to sleep in a hotel room.
Doesn't make any sense financially. Plus, we needed to put £1,000...
But I think what she's angry about, again, staring now, look at the dilation in her eyes, the tilt of the head. This is aggression now. She enjoys the fight. She enjoys a fight. And something else, this is critical, it's about the money now. The thing she's angry with Martin the most, the thing she's brought up first, is not he touched me, is not Martin was trying to get it on with me, is not that Martin's a sleaze or a creep, what it's most important here is that Martin, not even that he stole money or didn't pay me my money, but that Martin is not frugal and therefore has wasted money that she could have had. She's looking at a business and saying, don't you have sandwiches at lunchtime? Just have a bag of crisps. She's like, imagine if this was your boss. You wouldn't be allowed more than 10 minutes on a break. I once worked at a place where I made sandwiches, right? And this woman would come around after I'd made a sandwich and she'd pick up the bits of lettuce off the chopping board and throw them back in there. And I'd say, don't do that. I've just been making this sandwich. That's considered waste now. I know you want to save money, but it's 3 little bits of lettuce that I'm throwing in the bin because it's been on my chopping board and I've just made a sandwich and it's been in the sandwich. The next person is not having that lettuce, mate. And she was like, no, we've got to keep it. We've got to save. I've got to save all this money. And I just thought, fuck you. I'll just quit. You know, I just can't have this. Like, this woman is so tight that she's angry that Martin wants to sleep in a hotel room because she's angry because she wants that money.
It's on a hotel room every night. It doesn't make any sense financially. Plus, we needed to put £1,000 aside for fuel money because I would be the driver.
Oh, here we go. I'm going to be the driver. Here comes the hand again, putting that money over there. That's me, that's mine, that's in the bank, that's later, that's saved. She's already thought £1,000 for fuel. I don't know how she's worked that out. Bear in mind, I've got to say this right now then. If you're developing a business, 50-50. If you're developing a business plan, 50-50. I've been in both situations, shake of the hand with a mate, and I've also run proper businesses where I've got a business account and a limited company, company's house and all that. So if you're doing a business, 50-50, at that stage, you need to say, right, one of us is going to be the treasurer, one of us is going to be the whatever. We're going to have to set up a bank account. We're going to have to decide how we're making this split. And let me tell you something. It's not the case. The money comes in, I get half of it, you get half of it. Let's have fun. That's not the case. What has to happen is it has to go into the bank account. Everything's got to be paid for. And then the profits can be split after we have worked out how much profit we had. Usually it happens at the end of a year. You know, if you're going to be doing it properly, you don't just get paid every willy-nilly. But what she's saying is already, she's got it in her head now. She's got it in her head. I'm going to get £1,000 for my petrol. Now, I don't know how much the petrol costs. If you want £1,000 for petrol, what you have to do is you have to show us the itinerary. We design it together because we're part of a team. And then the itinerary is, we work out the fuel, and then we work out the fuel budget. You go and drive it. You put the fuel in, and then you give me the receipt, and I'll give you the money. out of the budget that we've, that's how that works. It's not, I'm going to need £1,000. Right, from day one, I get £1,000 more than everyone else because I'm driving the van. Fuck off. It's just so, it almost sounds like she wants to organise a tour so she can drive her van around and get money to put into the van. That's what she told us. Her priority is the van. She told us her priority is the van. Now she's telling us, before we get started, she needs £1,000 to spend on the van. Fuck off, frankly. And if you're putting fuel in it, you're doing bad to the environment. It should be electric.
Driving my van on the tour
I bet you could buy the van for £1,000.
And taking us around. So Martin was adamant that he would pay for the hotel rooms out of his own money, and he got all excited saying he was going to buy me all.
And again, we've got bad body language, shaking the head, looking up into made up, and she doesn't even get the sentence out because he was going to buy while she's making it up. So he might have said these things, but she might be embellishing or changing the way he said them. And crucially, she's making a plea to your emotions now that Martin is a dickhead. She's saying, because he wouldn't do what I wanted and do my plan and be kind to all the people and make it a social thing and let me drive my van. All right, fuck off then. You drive your van and do your own tour. You should not have been working with Martin. And if you had this problem from that point, you should be cutting it immediately there. There's the red flag for you. We're on different pages. Don't work with Martin. At any point from here on out, if you piss and moan about working with Martin, I'm going to say it's on your shoulders because you're a full grown up. And you're trying to get £1,000 for your van. You're in this for your own interests. That's why you're staying, because you want money. If you think it's shit, walk away. No one's keeping you there. No one's forcing you there. If you think it's shit, walk away. But don't piss and moan that, it's shit and they're doing it to me and they're doing it to me when you're involved. You can walk away. That really makes me angry, this victim mentality. When you're at the very start, you're having the problems. At the very start when you're making the plans. But you've outlined in the plans that you're going to get £1,000 more than everyone else.
Money because I would be the driver. I was driving my van on the tour and taking us around. So Martin was adamant that he would pay for the hotel rooms out of his own money, and he got all excited saying he was going to buy me all the food on the tour. And I also said I didn't want him to buy me all the food on the tour because I have a kitchen in my van.
Right, again, this is stupid. This is like blind leading the blind here. This is world of stupid. I don't care about your food and your kitchen and your thing. If you're going on a job like this, right, if you're being paid 50-50 out the profits, then you get nothing for your if it's a 50-50 venture, we make the money first, we split it later. We haven't got a budget for your food. We haven't made the money yet. So you either buy your own dinner or you get nothing. Yeah. But if we write it into the business plan that I'm going to need feeding, yeah, which actually I do when I make a contract, if we go to do a film job, I say, I'm going to need some, food, make sure we've got an allowance, a daily allowance for me to eat lunch if you're not going to feed me. And I prefer to do that because I'm vegan. So they just give me the money. It's written in. It's on the, yeah, absolutely. But, to be angry because you haven't, between you, managed to actually define what your roles are and what your responsibilities are, fuck it. It's on. You can't be angry at Martin for wanting to do something fun, like, I'll buy you dinner, or suggesting it. And I can't really determine why it matters where you cook your food. I don't know why you should be angry about that. Like, that seems a bit silly to want to just say, no, I'm doing it in my van. You're on tour. You should eat with the tour. You should be part of the group, and it should be factored into the business plan. We will eat dinner at, and it will cost.
I can cook in my van. I can shop somewhere and buy food. The guy just didn't seem to understand the concept of being frugal and being smart.
Right, so this is day one. You haven't even put any money in. You haven't gone on any tour. You haven't done anything. You're angry because you think he's going to waste your money. That's what she's angry about, frugal and smart. She's not angry about malicious ethics. She's not angry about, like, theft and, he's stupid with his money, she's saying. He's stupid with his money. That's one of the reasons she's also got a bit of a sneer. But also, that's why she's in. That's why she doesn't walk away. Let me tell you something. If you were going to get into business with someone and you thought they were stupid with money, you either walk away because you don't want to lose your money, or you stick around because you think you can rip them off. Already, she's getting an extra £1,000 for petrol. Martin's not getting that. Already, she's able to say 50-50 when Martin's the big draw and you're the 2,000 sub Andy. I've got no subs. Sub to me, please. But, you're the one that's, like, seeking to gain here. You're seeking to gain off Martin. And you're angry that he's going to be frittering away the money that you could have. Because if it's equal money, or if it's his money, it doesn't matter what he spends it on, does it? So it must be that you're angry that he's spending your money.
With finances. The night that me and Martin were planning the tour, He said it was supposed to be just 50-50. The whole thing was 50-50. Me and Martin, that's all was going to be involved. It was just going to be a split between us because it was a collaboration. And that's what he said to me anyway.
That's the most believable thing she said so far in terms of her body language. She agrees with that. She believes that as her truth. I don't know if it is true. I would need to see evidence or somebody, give test, not him or her, but a third party say they shook on that. Otherwise, I have to take them at their word. And at the moment, her word is worth shit. I've got no reason to believe anything she said thus far. Martin's word's a bit spurious as well because he embellishes and, talks shit for money. So, there's her side, there's his side, and then there's the truth. Did they shake hands eye to eye? If we do this tour, it will be 50-50 split down the line. Did they shake hands? Business sense, man to woman. Not man to, I'm not trying to be sexist, I'm just saying he's a man, she's a woman. Man to woman, shake hands, look, if they did, to me that's worth your word as your bond. But in the real world, it's worth nothing. You can't go to court with that and say, oh, by the way, you need to have email chain. Dear so-and-so, you've invited me to come and film at this job. I'll be there on this day. You've told me you will pay me this amount of money. Can you verify this is all correct? Thanks, Scott. They sent me one back. Yes, absolutely. This day, this time. Okay, that's our contract. I'll turn up. And then if you fuck me over and don't pay me, I'll go to small claims court and show them that. And then they'll ask you to pay me the money. And that's that. There's no video online. There's no trying to paint you out to be a bastard. There's none of that. There's just, if it's financial and it's business and we've got an arrangement, we deal with it like adults. And some people fuck up their businesses and don't pay and this and that. And I think you should write them off and not trust them. But I don't go on the internet and make videos about them so that everyone else writes them off and don't trust them. Because I think that's a bit, extra. I think that's a bit malicious. But she feels it's important to win the court of public opinion. Very much like Amber Heard in her op-ed. She feels it's important to slander Martin and to make sure that other people feel this. And like I say, it's because of this competition aspect. It's because of this, eat each other's audience aspect. If we can shit down Martin, we can win and be the new big one. And she's got people saying nice things to her on her comments. Oh, we think you're great. We believe you. So she's got her army and she thinks she can win this one. It's all very, very horrible.
50%. You can get 50%, Jade. Well, me and Martin agreed that I was going to do all the organising for it and I was going to do all the planning and the routes and everything. I would do everything.
Right, here again, we've got this emotional plea now. I'm doing everything. And she's shaking her head with her eyes closed. So she's obviously not doing everything. And she's heavily edited. She's wanting to put these words in. It was agreed I'd do the planning and driving. Okay, was it a handshake? Was it a chat? Was it on the back of a beer mat? Was it a business plan? What is it? Are you drunk when you do it? Are you stoned? Or are you 9 o'clock in the morning at work? It all matters. The context matters. We don't know any of that context. But they've agreed it between them. And again, I'd like to point out that 50-50 split does not mean if somebody buys a ticket, you get half the ticket money. It means we put that money into the bank, and then after everything's happened, at the end of the business year, we look at the profits and the amount of money that we took, the money we took in, and the money that we had to spend, including your petrol. So the more money you spend on petrol, the less we have to split. And then at the end, we split what's left. That's how that works. And it doesn't even work like that if you have directors maybe, or people that take a wage. Like I could have taken a wage out of my business and not be, taking the profit money. And that wage could have been taken before we split the money. There's all sorts of things to think about. If you haven't done that, then fuck you, you get nothing. Even if you think you demand, you this, you that. I'm sorry, but in the real world, in the grown-up world, even if someone's stitching you up or whatever, you can take them to small claims court, but you can't, because you don't have anything. You've just got, oh, I said this and I said that, My husband ripped me off 15 years. I wouldn't make a video about it. See, like, real people go through this shit, exactly. And, like, we don't feel compelled to get online and corral the audience, do we? If anything, you feel compelled to go to court and sort it out. And you know what? You might not have to have, if it's your husband, you might not need the pieces of paper because the court might listen to you on principle without receipts. But I'm sorry for your difficulties, Joe. It sounds like pretty shitty to have people that you love being mean to you. And I wouldn't wish that on anyone. So I hope that things feel better now. Like, it's in the past from what you're saying. And that through our hardships, we can be made stronger, and, that it gives you a view on life. And I hope there's something you can take from it anyway. That's the important thing. And we can move forward.
Take over all that side of it. And all Martin would have to do was just be there on the day and be himself and get the crowd or the people, in the mood. And be the personality that he is, because that is why people are drawn to Martin. So that's what he...
So she said that, and it heavily edits. People are drawn to Martin because of his personality. So she wants to be hands-on and do all the work. She wants the control, and she wants to control Martin so that Martin can make her some money, 50-50 split. He's the big star. I'm just going to drive him around in my van. For driving around in the van, I get fuel in the van, I get money in the van, sleep in my van, put food in my cupboards. All for me, the way I want it in my van. I like that. Then we're gonna say that. Oh God! Like, do you know what I'm saying? I just red flags for me.
You know, in the mood, and be the personality that he is. Because
oh yeah, Martin's the big personality. Red flags for me. So you can't do this on your own. Even if this is your great idea to do a tour, you can't do it because no one's going to come to your tour. You're 2,000 subscriber Andy. Whereas if you've got him on board, loads of people, half the money, brilliant. And Martin's stupid. He's just going to turn up and do the tour, which actually some people might say is the hard work, mightn't they? The actual tour, they might say that's the hard work, not the driving around in the van. I don't know. But he's going to turn up and do the tour. He's the big draw, and you're going to get half the money? Half? That seems rich. If Martin did it himself and organised this himself, and like he could just pay for a driver, and then you don't matter. You're not needed. Because all you're fucking doing is driving around. Like, you're not needed. So you're trying to make yourself needed, make yourself seem invaluable, like this really important member of the team, worth 50%, because you're running a scam on Martin. You're getting him to do a lot of stuff and taking half of it. And you know he's not very good with money. That's why you're choosing him. You've set this up. You've sat in the room with him. You've done the business plan with him. You've had all these red flags. You haven't walked away. You're still at it, still looking for your £1,000 for your petrol, still thinking, oh, pot of gold at the end of this. I can rip off Rich Martin. In the same way as these people that make the videos think they can rip off their viewers.
that is why people are drawn to Martin. So that's what he was going to bring to the table. Everything seemed fine. So I said...
See what I'm saying? That's what he was going to bring to the table. Right, she's being honest when she said that, but it's heavily edited. I can't exactly tell. But what's important also is not just body language. It's also linguistics. And I'm glad that I studied super segmental features of broken English and all sorts. I studied a lot of stuff at university and college on the way. I did an extra year at college because I was such a fuck up. But the thing she says is bring it to the table. Bear that in mind. Bring it to the table. What do you bring to the table? Physical things, money, food. She's got no food in her van. She's got no petrol in her van. She's struggling. She wants Martin to bring stuff to the table. You can eat from the table. It's food, it's money. That's the way she's thinking about Martin and his role in this.
To him, you're going to have to bear with me for a few weeks until I get my van as finished as possible, because I need it finished for this tour. Because after the tour, I'll be living in it.
Oh, I got these hands now, and she's in her own mind now. She's now moving things from this place to this place. She's moving that £1,000 from that tour money, that tour concept, to over here to me. That's mine. That's in the bank. That's mine. That's safe. And she's going on about the fucking van again. So if I was wronged by Martin, right? If I'd done a business plan with Martin, it might be different. It might just be me. And you've got to think this through importantly as well. You've got to think this through what you would do. You know, what would you do in this situation? You've been on this business plan, you've been around in the van, you've driven around, and at the end of it, you feel like you're being ripped off and that he's taken the money and you haven't been paid, right? That's what you feel. You've made a video on the internet to talk about it. You're 7 minutes in. You have mentioned quite a bit about this fucking van and this money. Yeah, absolutely, because that's your thing, isn't it? What she hasn't done, and what I might do, is start off with, Martin owes me this amount of money. This is the amount of money that Martin owes me. He said he was going to pay me by this date. I drove him round on the tour. I did my bit. Where's my fucking money, Martin? Right? If that's what you're into, she's not doing that though, is she? She's going on about this van and why it's bad that she can't live and she's homeless and, you know, how poor she is and what issue. And Martin's been nasty and deceitful and like fucking hell. You just be asking for your money because it'd be top of your agenda. Unless you were trying to hide that and make it seem like it's something else, like it's an expose of this villain, so that you can get everyone on your side, so that when it comes to the money, you definitely win. That's mine. That's in the bank. But we're not making it about the money, because if I go on the internet and say this is about the money, people are going to say, oh, I don't like you. She's so used to manipulating people about money that she can't just be honest about it. even when she's trying to be honest about it. And you know from your own belief, your own, you know, you've been in these situations. If someone owes you the money, you don't start going on about who said we was going to put what food in what, and I was going to do the fuel, and, you know, we were going to do an event and it was going to be a community event. You don't start with that. You start with, these people owe me this fucking money. I want my fucking money. I've done this work. Here's my invoice. This is what you do to the court. This is what you do with the court. Here's my invoice. Here's the email he sent me saying he were going to go 50-50. Where's my fucking money? Oh, by the way, he's been a bastard. Oh, by the way, he's done this. And did you know he did that? And when you start getting on it, but like, I don't, you know, there's a problem here in the way she's delivering, isn't there? In the way she's choosing to deliver and what she's choosing to deliver in what order. There's a problem there. And she's edited it as well.
Permanently. So I need to be able to make sure I'm in a position where I'm going to be okay after this tour in my...
Okay, this is a big signal as well. She, hands like this, she closes her hands one over the other, and this is to stop her from revealing too much.
So I need to be able to make sure I'm in a position where I'm going to be...
See that? Looking up into the making it up section of your brain, hand over the other hand, because she realises her hands are talking for her, subconsciously now or whatever. Close that down, because I'm about to tell a lie, so I need to make sure that I'm not being too expressive when I tell my lie. Little subconscious cues. I told you it's a big picture, isn't it? It's not just one thing.
Living in it. Permanently. So I need to be able to make sure I'm in a position where I'm going to be okay after this tour in my van. And he understood that. He understood that I needed to get it finished.
And she looks like this.
Okay, after this tour in my van.
This one, like, that is an actual image of panic. And there could be two reasons there. One, she's panicking because she's imagining what life will be like after the tour, and she's got no money and she has to live in a van, and that's a load of shit. Like, you and I both know that living in a van is a fucking load of shit. Yeah? Right? I don't care whether you like camping or caravanning or what. You live in the van in England in December, it's shit. You're not having Christmas dinner in your fucking van. That's a load of shit. Right? So that could be panic at her life situation, how she sees that, and imagining the truth of her life. And it could be like this panic of that. But also, when people are telling you these lies and something slips out,
I need to be able to make sure I'm in a position where I'm going to be okay after this tour.
Where something slips out, her motivation for going on this tour wasn't, after all, to help people and make a community, like she said, and do something nice. It's to make sure that after the tour, she's in a position where she can be... She's trying to pay for her van. She wants the tour to pay for her van. Now, remember, at the very start of this, she said it wasn't about the money. This really is not about the money. It obviously fucking is. It's all about the money. From the very start, it's all been about the money. You've tried to use Martin and exploit him because he's popular, so you can create an event, a tour, take half the money before the ticket sales are done, before the profits have been worked out. You want half the money up front. You want the petrol money for the van, the payment, so you can fix, because end of the tour, you're going off in your fucking van and you're living in it. That's what you want to have happen. And she says it explicitly, and she thinks, oh fuck, I've just said the thing I'm not supposed to say. The honesty has come out. I've just said that I'm going to be basically ripping off Martin for money so that I can spend it on my van. I don't know what qualifies her and her van to be some special thing. I don't know why Martin should be responsible for her van. I don't know why her relationship with Martin should be turned into a money-making venture for her van. But it's the most important thing to her. She said it.
In my van.
And then panic, boom. Oh shit, I've just said that. Hands up, you caught me. Hands up, you caught me. And staring down into auditory digital self-talk internal dialogue. This is a great example to example that. Auditory digital is very difficult to use in body language analysis because it can mean so much. But because of everything I've just said, do you see what it means here? She's talking to herself. You just said that, you fucking idiot. She's talking to herself. There you go. Boom. Right. Regardless of whether Jade should have collaborated with him, etc., Martin's a grifter and a fraud. Separate that from the info he presents. He's manipulating everyone. Well, Miss Ali, I am here because I started out by saying Martin was a fraud. So we're on the same page there. All of these people with their Tartaria bullshit are trying to sell books or tickets to a show or get YouTube clicks because it makes them a bit of money. And they think that stupid people who believe this shit are the best people to have in your little community because they're most likely to give you money. That's the shebang here. That's the shebang. So I do think that. I think Martin's a fraud. I don't think he's malicious, though, in the way this lady is. And Martin has tried to use mechanisms of online and also book sales, mechanisms of capitalism, yes. And, you know, I think the people that sell McDonald's burgers are frauds because those burgers are shit and not worth the money, and they'll give you heart disease. But they still sell them and nobody goes mad about it. It's part of the world. So I get that, and I'm down with Martin. Boo, yeah, grifter. You shouldn't be doing this bullshit for money. You shouldn't be trying to blag them for this Tartaria bullshit and this FLATERTH. You shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, Martin's wrong, right? But I don't think he tried to rip her off, and I don't think he tried to manipulate her. I think he was trying to be nice, and he's confused, and she's manipulating him, right? And then that is all turned into a witch hunt online. So I'm now in the position where I'm defending Martin because on a human level, I don't care about his ideas. I don't believe in them. I've told you why it's all bullshit. Check out our other videos on the subject. But on a human level, I'm not going to watch why someone gets bullied on the internet for money. I'm not going to do that, even if I don't agree with his ideas. I will fight to the death for your freedom of speech, even if I don't believe in what you're saying. Yeah. So I'm backing Martin here because of what I can see. And I don't have an iron in the fight. I don't know any of these people. And I have judged Martin in the same way. Grifter, fraud. But I'm not going to see him be kicked about on the internet by these thieves. I say thieves, that's a rough word. Maybe I should retract that. By these apparent thieves. By these people who are in it for money. You know, in it for really grimily in it for money as well. So yeah, I agree with your comment there. I agree with you. He's manipulating everyone for money. But also he's depressed. He's living a difficult existence like the rest of us. I'm prepared to forgive some things and rise above things on a human level because I don't think we should be bullying each other for money. Manipulating, no, as well, but he does less. They all do some slightly less offensive manipulation. Because bottom line, if you are stupid and you want to give them your money, I can't go around your house and tell you no. Like, you'll give them money, won't you? If you're stupid, you'll give money to all sorts of things, won't you? You'll be down Waitrose buying the finest extravagant this instead of the same thing from a different shop for a different price. Or, you know what I mean? You might not be vegan. I don't know. It's up to you. I'm vegan. I can't fight you to be vegan. I think it's silly to not be, whatever. But deep down, if you're going to be mean, if you know what you're doing is nasty, cynical and evil like this, I mean, this is even worse. So, yeah. You know, it's a really interesting point, Miss Ali, because I find myself conflicted on both that. But I'm glad that I've already made about 5 videos saying Martin's a fraud before I'm doing this. So
he understood that. He understood that I needed to get it finished. He went home and I'd sent him the draft plans that I...
This is big and important. I've seen this. She did this. That's on her phone. And she's scrolling through it and she's showing you. Now, the draft plans come by really quick here. And what I want you to understand about them before they fly past so quick you can't see them is that if I went to £5 per hour and gave someone 40 quid, I'd get this back. It's a list of cities. It's a list of days you can go to the city. It's an idea about, well, maybe we should charge 20 quid for a price. And it's some notes from your own Flat Earth folder that you've got going on because you're on in the some notes about each place. That's all. It's like a document that anyone at school could do in a lunchtime. There's nothing special. Oh, vegetarian, there you go. See, the smart people are in here being vegan and vegetarian. That's what's happening. We're coming together on that front. I think as well, actually, good point, is I think we've all got things in common as humans. So I'm being really harsh on her here, but I should also say I think something might come up that we have in common as humans. And if you're going to be mean, I'm going to call you out on it. If you're going to lie on the internet, I'm going to call you out on it. But after that, I can forgive you and move on if you want to move on as well. And, you know, like, we're all human. My main point about Martin overall over the last few weeks has been the ideas aren't helping him and he seems to be depressed. So I'm worried about people who are depressed and things like that. I hope that we can put the ideas aside and start to help him in a human way. Yeah, so I want you to see this, though. This is going to fly past, and it's not real work. It's not like you can say to me, and if it was, that's not worth 50% of this tour. What it's worth is £40 an hour for an hour. That's what I pay you for doing this. I mean, I'm a producer. I've produced films. I know what work is and takes and costs. You are not telling me you're worth 50% of my project for showing me this. It's going to go past really fast.
Made up. I sent him it all through on email, and then I get a phone call from him telling me that I don't have to do anything now.
It's gone now. It's gone past really fast. And it was just some crap that was copy and pasted. So that wasn't working. But she's doing it really fast, so you don't read it and see it. You just think, God, she's written loads. Isn't it impressive when someone writes loads? Jesus.
He went home and I'd sent him the draft plans that I made up. I sent him it all through on email, and then
she's looking up into this made up part of her brain again. So I don't know why. This is probably because she's trying to make up a list of things she's done that are work, and she's not managing to put so many things on it. But, you know,
I get a phone call from him.
Oh, she's making up when the phone call came and the he said, she said bit.
Telling me that I don't have to do anything now because
She's making up what he said. She's making up what he said.
Let India from Holistic Media take over basically the organisation.
And there is a frown. It's a very micro expression here.
Now because he's let India from Holistic Media take over basically do anything now because he's let India from Holistic Media take over.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just the way that the video looks.
Telling me that I don't have to do anything now because he's let India from Holistic Media take over basically the organisation of the tour.
There's definitely something. She goes stunted.
India from Holistic Media take over.
Like her usual, quite animated looking around, gets a bit pushed in, pushed down. I find it really, there's something going on when she mentions India, and this is the first time India from Holistic Media has been raised. Apart from when Martin told us yesterday, and this gets dark now, Liedtke.com. Yesterday Martin said someone's bought his domain name, and someone he doesn't really promote is promoting their stuff on it. And it's Holistic Media. That's who's got his domain name, look. Because when you click on the link, it takes you to Holistic Media. So I thought Holistic Media might be something to do with John Levi, because when you scroll down, there's a lot of John Levi stuff here. So it looks like they've hijacked his Holistic Media, and John Levi look like they've John Levi look like they've hijacked this web domain, Martin's web domain. It takes you through to this Knights of the Truther. Somewhere here is a truth. Somewhere here is the people that have hijacked it. I thought it might be John Levi. I don't know enough about these people yet. I'm only just, getting to know them, aren't I? But it might be Holistic Media's done this. Now we're told India from Holistic Media is involved. I don't know if you've seen this before in the podcast wars. I don't know if you've seen it elsewhere on YouTube with these communities. But didn't I say it earlier that they'll backbite, they'll take each other down, they'll say you're a friend to their face, and then behind the scenes they'll be trying to fuck you over. And if you can take someone down and you can be the puppet master, oh, aren't you big, and aren't you the big ruler of this community? And what Jade's problem is here throughout all of this is the fact that Martin is a bigger cheese than her. She's in this because she thinks she can manipulate the big cheese to make herself a bigger cheese. She wants to be a big cheese because she's on here spreading the shit, trying to be a big cheese. Her videos are not taking off in the way she might have hoped. She's getting this subsistence thing that I got it on YouTube as well. I've got a channel that gives me $20 a month. I've got a few different channels. They add up. But, you see them and you think, right, this can never go a certain, like, why isn't this growing? And there's a reason, because YouTube is never going to give a million views to any of this shit. The people that are watching Jake Paul are never going to pick up your channel and think it's brilliant. Like, nor are they going to do on mine. I have to accept it. I'm a different kind. But, so I know what's going on here. I know what's going on. And when you go to this page, it's Holistic Media's behind this. I don't know who Holistic Media is, but for the first time ever, she's been brought up in a video direct. First time that I've seen. And they're saying that, she's angry now. First mention of this India Holistic Media, she's got a problem, right? She's got a new challenger has entered the arena. She was trying to run the con on Martin. She was trying to grift Martin. She was trying to steal Martin's 50% or 50% of Martin's tour. Yeah. And now Holistic Media stepped in. So now she's got a problem. She's going to have to fight Holistic Media. Holistic Media is not as easy to manipulate because she's not a man.
Basically, the organisation of the tour.
Boom, cut. I was only ever told Holistic Media was making promo videos, so I emailed her the draft so she could get the information for the video promotions, unaware that she was going to be taking my role. What role? You talked about something in a room, like you've had a chat with someone. Oh, we should do a tour. Yeah, we should, we should be in a band. Oh, it'd be great. Yeah, we should be in a band, 50-50 split. Yeah, like, it feels weird to say, right, now we're a business. Now you're locked in. Dragon's Den. I want 50% of my business locked in. No, I mean, we're having a chat about a thing. All right, fine, your role. And this had to be edited in after the event because she's looked over the video in the edit and carefully taken out and put in things to manipulate how we see this story. This is her side of the story, not the truth.
So they just took my plans and they'd already...
They took my plans. She didn't like that, did she? She's been wounded by that. Your plans, which took 10 minutes to copy and paste off the, here's the thing about this, here's the thing about that. Have you seen the train schedule? Get over yourself. I wouldn't pay more than 40 quid for those plans to be done by an intern. I could pay for someone on £5 per hour to do that in an hour for a fiver. It's just rubbish, your plans. Don't ever let us hear you telling us about how much you've done for this thing ever again, because I've just seen your plans and I've judged them as just being shit and rubbish.
About promo videos as well for the tour, and they'd not even finalised the plans. Like, these were draft plans. The tour was not supposed to go the way it did because it wasn't planned, it wasn't revised properly. Right,
so this, and she does this funny thing with her eyes here, which I'm not certain about. I've not seen it in her baseline ever before as well, and it's a bit of a strange squint. I wonder if it's confrontation with this shadow figure of India, or whether she feels vulnerable, so protecting your eyes. But she's saying these plans weren't even supposed to be used, they're just draft plans. Well, that fucks up your argument then, because if they're not even good enough plans to do a tour off, they don't matter. Throw them in the bin. We'll make our own plans. We did make our own plans, and you didn't like it. You've just said they made better plans than my plans. They used them as a jumping off point and went off and made better plans, and I was cut out of the loop. You didn't like it.
The tour was not supposed to go the way it did.
The tour was not supposed to go the way it did. Now, this is another problem with these community things. I got experience in one of these where we had a radio station for the ASMR community, and there were lots of different voices whose ideas were different about how the radio station should be. Me personally, and I'm not saying I'm right, not at all. In fact, not at all. I decided in the end to just walk away, and I'll tell you why. I thought it should be it's an ASMR community thing. Our videos are all about relaxing ASMR videos, in a way. So, and I will concede that in a way. But I thought the music should be relaxing, the talking should be relaxing. It should have some ASMR content on there. The ASMR presenters will do it, whatever. The other people in the group thought it should be pop music and memes and mashup songs, and like a radio station might be, like all hype. And I didn't like that. I thought it should be something you could go to sleep to. So I did my show in my way. They did their shows in their way. I looked at the thing after a couple of days of seeing it and said, this isn't for me. I've got a different idea to the rest of the group. And obviously, the bigger group, you can do what you want. That's the community, though. It doesn't mean that my idea is right or their idea is right. What it means is that a group will come to a decision and you don't get to drive that decision. You might think you're driving the van, but, lo and behold, that sneer is back, that pinching of the lips, anger is being shown here at the idea that her idea... Now the concept that she is not going to run the show has come up. She's fucking angry about that. Again, walk away. Walk away now. Don't get involved. You're not happy with the situation. Why are you not walking away? The reason she's not walking away is because she thinks she can still get the money. She's the one in this, not Martin. She told us Martin's got head in the clouds. Martin's not business minded. He's not frugal with money. Martin's not into this to make a load of money, she said. Martin wants to do the tour and have fun and walk around and be a personality. You're concerned with the money, and you're angry now that your grip on the money is being taken by the group. But you earlier said that you wanted it to be a group thing, and all, can't have it both ways.
Because it wasn't planned, it wasn't revised properly. They just took my initial ideas and kind of just...
And these are really big flags here. The shoulder shrug, the squint, and this sweep of the hand... This dismissive sweep. She's giving you a believe me look, but she's also being defensive now and sort of dismissive of them and the way they changed her plans. This false smile here, this pained expression, it's obviously paining her that she's not the big cheese and that people don't listen to her and say, wow, what you said's brilliant, we'll go with you. Oh, they're fucking idiots, these people. They wanted to buy hotel rooms and do the thing differently. They wouldn't listen to me.
It wasn't revised properly. They just took my initial ideas and kind of just threw it out there without even, sorting that out. Anyway, they'd already put ticket sales up.
There was some look into some true emotions there, but it's so heavily edited, I think the true emotions that she doesn't want to tell us.
They just took my initial ideas and kind of just threw it out there without even, sorting that.
So that's a big edit there. And now she's looking into this true emotions, these feelings about what it felt like to hear things or see things.
A
shake of the head and then look directly up. Pursing of the lips, a big sort of duck face smile. I think what she's thinking is, these people are fucking idiots. But she definitely can't say that.
Anyway, they'd already put ticket sales up. I wasn't happy with the prices they were charging. That was really something I was uncomfortable with, particularly for Rosslyn Chapel. I actually wanted that as a freebie for everybody because I just wanted to go there with people and show Martin Rosslyn Chapel because he said he's always wanted to go. He's never been.
Oh, now we've got this weird thing as well. Do you remember earlier on she mentioned Starstruck? She said she wanted to go there with people and show Martin. So wait, is it people or Martin? And she wants to go there special, free. Maybe this is a place that to her is in some way special. And what she wanted to do was introduce Martin to her idea and be in some way in ownership of this place and idea. You know, this is my place. This is my Rosslyn Chapel. I'm going to show you my place and my Rosslyn Chapel. So I should be in control of this part of the event. That's what's coming through there from her body language, and this weird concept that I want to show Martin. Again, it's this idea that Martin is some big cheese in this circle, and I look up to Martin in some way because Martin has made the success that I am trying to emulate. I am copying Martin in my YouTube channel and my work. So what Martin does, I look up to in some way, even if I think he's an idiot with his money. He's got a good scam going. He's just crappy at actually doing the scam. He's not doing the scam properly. I'm a much sharper person. I'm a much more switched on. I'm from the mean streets of Leeds. I've grown up around these men. I know how to make people think I'm innocent and nice and walk away with the bag. You know, I know how to do that. I'm much more sophisticated in my con. So I think they're idiots. And,
I was uncomfortable with, particularly for Rosslyn Chapel.
And Rosslyn Chapel actually is something slightly different. It's this special place that she's got that other people don't have. So it's, again, these people find some sort of status in this group, remember? And this is her status point. She didn't want it to be taken by other people. She wanted to be able to own and control that status point. And she's saying to us that she didn't want to charge you money to go in. She's not a thief and a con job, you know, charging you money to go on this tour, which of course you should pay money to go on a tour because it's an event that someone's gonna have to walk around and talk. So if you're doing the walking and talking, we have ghost tours in my local town. It's a load of bullshit, of course. It's a load of bullshit. If you were going to go on a ghost tour, you should walk up the road in this street because someone old died at that house the other week. And over there, in that house over there, someone died. You know, in your street, people have died, haven't they? Recently, in the last year, probably, maybe of COVID. And if you go walking the streets, you don't see their fucking ghosts. The place is not populated by ghosts from the 20th century, is it? It's not all, you know, people walking around with baseball caps. You don't see, like, you know, at the side of the road where someone crashed their bike in the leather jacket. You don't see the ghost of somebody in their leathers. Like, it's all ye olde ghosts, isn't it? It's all ye olde ghosts. There's no modern ghosts. That's weird. It's almost as if ghosts is bullshit. Anyway, look, I'm going off a tangent. What I'm saying is there's tours in my town, and if you want to go on the tour, you pay the tour master, because the tour master or mistress or person of non-specific gender, the tour person, the tour guide needs to make the money because that's their job. And you're running a thing here, so, you know, I should think it would be all right if, like the rest of the tour, you charged money for one of the events on the tour. But for some reason, this is special to her, unique to her, something she wanted to show Martin privately and have this extra special status because of.
That as a freebie for everybody because I just wanted to go there with people and show Martin Rosslyn Chapel because he said he's always wanted to go, he's never been. But unfortunately they charge people 35 quid a ticket for entry into a Rosslyn Chapel, which is £9.50, and I really personally could not see why people would be paying £35 to go into Rosslyn Chapel when it's £9.50. It really bothered me.
It really bothered you, yeah? The rest of the tour didn't bother you, like the pricing of the rest of the tour. Excuse me while I just sort out my camera battery, which is just refreshed. I'm just going to change my focus. It doesn't matter that I change my focus because you can't see me properly because the Virgin Media upload speed is so low that today I'm more like a podcast, like a radio show. But bear in mind, I am recording it and I will upload the edited version with all the body language to our cuts channel. So, you know, it will all work out in the end. So don't worry about that. I'm just changing the camera settings here. And then I'm back in to say this thing about Rosalind Chapel. I'm not even in focus. Oh, I turned it off by mistake. I'm an idiot. I am actually an idiot sometimes. It's funny. I thought I'll just move that out of the way, move the window out of the way. I turned it off. That wasn't what you wanted to do, was it, Scotty Hottie? Right. So, this Rosalind Chapel, for some reason, it's not a problem to charge people a silly extortionate amount of money for any other part of the tour. I watched one, they just walked around the streets. Didn't even go in anywhere. Just around the streets in York. So for some reason, all those other ideas you had about ripping people off were fine. But when it's your special Rosalind Chapel that only costs £9, these people are idiot cunts that you're working with. And they wanted to do something, and you're better than them because you wouldn't do that. You're better than them. Yeah? Hang on. Walk away. You shouldn't be in business. You shouldn't be doing this. This should not be part of you. Already, you shouldn't be there. 3 times now I've said walk away. It's your fault. It's on you if you're still there. This isn't an abusive relationship. This isn't domestic violence. This isn't coercion. No one's twisted your arm. This is you've gone on this. You've asked to do it. You've asked them. You've pushed for it. You're driving the van because you think you're going to get money. And the only reason you're hanging on is because you think you're going to get money. You should have walked away a long time ago if you thought it was all shit. Because if you think they're going to mismanage it, then you're not going to get your money. Walk away. It's on you.
People would be paying £35 to go into Rosalind Chapel when it's £9.50. It really bothered me. But Martin assured me that his subscribers are rich and they can afford it and they're there to see him. So that was Martin's excuse for such ridiculous prices there. But anyway, that's
an ad hominem attack on Martin. It's hearsay. It's Amber Hurd saying Johnny Depp said he was going to hit me. I don't know if Martin said that. In fact, when she tells me he said it...
Martin assured me that his subscribers are rich and they can afford it and they're there to see him. So that was Martin's excuse for such...
She displays some positive, truthful body language in that she makes an imitation. She does this...
Could not see why people would be paying £35 to go into Rosalind Chapel when it's £9.50. It really bothered me. But Martin assured me that...
She looks into... digital again. This is difficult. Digital.
His subscribers are rich and they can afford it and they're there to see him. So that was Martin.
She doesn't like that, but I think she's doing an impression of Martin. So I think he probably did say something like that. To be honest, I think he probably did.
Martin's excuse for
and then she looks up into making it up. So this next bit.
Such ridiculous prices there, but.
Ridiculous prices. She doesn't think the prices are ridiculous if you can charge them. She wants as much money as possible. I think the argument probably went, Martin, people won't pay this money. We'll put them off. We'll get more money if we have more people at a cheaper price. And Martin said, no, they will pay this money and we'll end up with more money because if you let them in at a cheaper price when they would pay 30 quid, you're just giving away an extra 20 quid. If you know, cheaper tickets, supply and demand, they're trying to argue about supply and demand. I imagine that's the conversation that's been had. And she's fallen on the side of trusting Martin and charging the higher price because bottom line, she's greedy. That's where she's been dazzled by her own greed and she's gone along with Martin. So again, she's not been twisted, coerced, whatever. She's not 50-50 equal partner here either. Somebody else is calling some of the shots here. But that might be because it's not, 50-50 equal partner. Maybe you let them call some of the shots. I don't know. Her motivation is greed.
Anyway, that's just a little point.
And then she gets off that little point quite quickly because it's a sign of stress, self-touching of the forehead. This is a sign of stress. She realises again, and she does this quite consistently, doesn't she? She looks down and over there into this area of self-talk, inner dialogue, and does the self-talk inner dialogue with the sign of stress, with a physical wave of the hand body language to indicate that what she just said, she needs to shut up now because she's digging a hole for herself. This is the bit where she was telling the truth accidentally and saying, oh, it's about the money for me. It's about the money. It's about the 30 quid. It's about the money.
Such ridiculous prices there. But anyway,
she gets onto the prices. She was talking about this place, this beloved, cherished place. And even that has gone by the wayside to the 30 quid idea.
That's just a little point. I forget to mention as well, at the time
big stress, big self-touching.
I was staying at this house with Martin's friends. Martin would...
Pointing, aggression.
Bring me up and put ideas into my head about the people I was living with and would make me feel like I was in danger.
Right, this is something completely different. This is really difficult to deal with because it's something completely different. It's not anything about business. This is now an ad hominem attack, a pointing the finger. Oh, by the way, since we're laying into Martin, since we're saying what a shit Martin is, let me tell you some things that are going to make you think Martin is a shit, so that you're on my side about this money thing. Yeah? If it was about this, she'd have started with this. She didn't. This is just, oh, by the way, it just popped into my head, Martin's a bit of a shit. Like, come on. And what the thing she says here is that he rings her up and tells her that the people that she's living with, gets a little bit complex, but she basically asserts that she's living with these people on Martin's advice. They're friends of Martin. Then he's ringing her up and saying they might not be that safe, and it's worrying her. So she doesn't know where she should be or where she should live. She's doing this to say that Martin, what she's trying to say is that Martin loves me and Martin wants to be with me. So Martin's trying to put other people off me so that I'll go with him. And that may have been the case. Martin may have had romantic feelings for her, and that may have tarnished the way he's interacted with or thought about other men in her life. That may be the case. I can't tell you that or not. I've seen a little bit of that from Martin. He alluded to it in yesterday's video. He said something about feelings for people. And if that's the case, she should, and I don't know, might not agree with me on this. You can have your own opinion on this. But at day one, when she starts to see that in Martin, when she starts to feel that vibe, she should say, Martin, I want to be clear with you. If you've got feelings for me, that's kind and, it's very flattering, but I'm not going to see you in that way, Martin. We're not going to be together romantically. I just want to be friends. I'm struggling in life at the moment. I just need to get through this. I'm not going to lead you on, Martin. And Martin might go, well, if I didn't have feelings for you, are you up yourself, aren't you? It might be difficult, but at any point where you feel that a man has, it's just my opinion. It might not be a man thing. It might be a generic human thing. So I don't say a man's sexist, but, if you feel people have got feelings for you and you don't want to reciprocate and you feel like you're getting this vibe, it might be okay to draw some lines. That might be fine to draw some lines because then you all know where you stand. That's a grown-up way to approach it. Even if you think it might be a bit, embarrassing, or even you think, oh, a bit full of myself here to think everyone loves me, but just want to make sure that you're not getting the wrong end of the stick, Martin, because I don't want you to be hurt. Or you could use it to your advantage, keep playing him along, keep twisting him a bit, never really say, no, I don't feel that way, but never really say you do either. I think she's probably had, and this is my opinion, I think she's probably had relationships with people where she's getting a lot out of it and showing them a certain side of herself, but secretly having no care and thought to them at all. Not really caring about them, and maybe men want to fuck her, maybe men want to be with her, and men want to be with women sometimes, or men, this is men on men as well, this can be any gender, non-denominative, whatever, but maybe people want to be, and then the people that see that use it a bit for their own benefit, don't they? And it certainly happens, doesn't it, that a man might think he's getting somewhere with a woman, and then she turns around and says, I remember a story, this is just a personal story, and it's not evidence of anything really, it's just a funny story that happened to me once, but me and my mate were out drinking in Coventry, and these girls, we seem to be getting on with them. I've told this before on stream. My mate said, come on, we've pulled here and we're going to walk them home and we're going to go back to their place. So we walked across Coventry with them, and when we got to the bit where they lived, they said, thanks for walking us home, see ya. And we went, what? No, I thought we were coming in for drinks. And she said, no, we're home now, thanks for walking us home. They wanted us to walk them home because it was dangerous in Coventry in that area. And we did. And then they binned us off. And we felt like chumps. They used us. It wasn't a big deal. It wasn't a big thing. But, this sort of shit goes on when people's attractions are manipulated. That happens. So to be careful about that, to make sure it's not happening. If she thought that was happening with Martin, if she thought Martin was becoming attracted to her, if he gave her that indication, maybe she should have drawn some lines. Or maybe she didn't. Maybe she used it to her own advantage.
He would ring me up and tell me that this person I was living with was angry at me, or that I'd done something to piss them off.
Right, and this is another issue. Maybe he is telling the truth. I don't know. We can't get into that. This is hearsay again. Did he even do this? I don't know. It's hearsay again. Did Martin ring her up to protect her because he was worried about her? Maybe. Maybe Martin's paranoid because he gets drunk and smokes loads of fucking weed. Maybe he smokes loads of weed and gets paranoid and then rings her up and goes, God, this bloke in your house is going to come in your room and do bad things. And like, Martin, calm down. You're just getting yourself worked up. We know Martin gets like that. We've seen his mental state is a bit fractured. We've seen he's going through depression. We've seen he smoke a lot of weed. So I'm prepared to say, yeah, he might do that. But also, here's the reason why. And maybe don't maybe she would not. I don't believe in a second that Martin rings her up and says, I'm worried about XYZ. And she says, right, XYZ is true. I'm so naive. I just believe everything Martin says. Get off. Get off. And there's another option. Maybe the people in the house are pissed off with you and Martin's trying to break it in a nice way because maybe you were a bit of a dick to live with.
And told me stories about this person and told me that he's never even knew this person really and that they've just come into his life.
She says, I was told some very serious allegations by Martin about this person. Again, she won't tell you what or how. She's implying here, and I'll just say it straight, sexual violence. She's implying that she's at risk from some sort of sexual violence. That's what she's implying. She wants you to feel on her side because she's vulnerable that these evil men might do sexual violence on her and that Martin has irresponsibly put her in this situation and now he's telling her this stuff to scare her into not wanting to be with this man because he's jealous. That's what she's saying, but she's not saying it because she's so manipulative. We can all see what she's saying though.
He thinks they've come into his life to destroy his life.
He thinks they've come into his life to destroy his life. Martin's got people vilifying him and attacking him on the internet. You have come into his life and you are destroying his life. So these things are problems for the paranoid weed smoker. When you get signals like you can't trust this woman and you start wondering why. You get signals like you can't trust this guy she's living with and you're wondering why. And you're paranoid and you're starting. That might be an issue. You know, and it might be this other thing that I've just said.
The house we were in, he even said people have been murdered in it. So that terrified me. I thought, right, so this guy who's supposedly friends with these people, I am now living with them temporarily, and now he's ringing me up telling me that I'm in danger because these people are not right and that he doesn't know them. Like, I was not in a good place at that point, so I was in...
Again, she was... this is two kinds of body language. The first bit is true. He rang up and said that.
They're not right and that he doesn't know them. Like, I was...
And she's nodding here and there's a half smile sneer. It's that sneer again. You see it with the pinching of the nose and the baring of the teeth. It's this idea that, fucking this idiot. You're an idiot. Looking down on people, sneering at them.
Not in a good place.
And then not in a good place. Now she's looking up. She might not have been in a good place, but now she's going to make up something better to say.
At that point, so I was in panic mode.
Panic mode. Oh, there you go. I love it when they bring out anxiety, panic and mental health. I love it when they do that because that's just something they can use that you're not allowed to attack. I have anxiety attacks. I'm not just saying that. Me personally, I actually do. I have anxiety attacks. I don't use it as a defense. It's just, you know, you can't argue with that, can you? They've sent her into panic mode. Now she is the victim. And you'll see this in real life with people that you just want to give a smack. And I'm going to be honest about it. I have anxiety issues myself. I run a channel called Mental Health Monday through this channel here. So I'm not being... it's very careful what I say here because I'm not being ignorant of mental health issues. Sometimes I want to give myself a smack. But these people who fold in on, I can't do it, I'm not going to, I'm too panicked, some people actually have anxiety issues. And that's what makes, it's like when people threaten suicide and are only, you know, talking it and not like walking it. I know that's an awful thing to say as well, but you know what I mean? You can't see in people's heads, you have to take everything seriously. So I always take these things seriously. But some people are just using mental health as a sort of tool. And her attitude, her facial expression, the confidence, the tilted head back, the baring of the teeth, the slight sneer, it doesn't show you that she's remembering times of anxiety. It shows you that she's using it as a tool.
So I had to be out of there. So the tour was like the date I was aiming for.
And it's like this self-pleased, pleased with herself because she's feeling like she's getting that job done. This one always works when I say, the panic attack, yeah. You have to be nice to me now. I've won. You can't fucking argue with me now.
So I had to be out of there. So the tour was like the date I was aiming for. Back to talking about the tour itself and India.
Hang on. Earlier on, you said you had to do this tour for the van, and then it was all about this van. And now you have to be out of that house. But that house, earlier on, you said that you had nowhere to live and no one that you could go and live. Suddenly you've got somewhere, through Martin, but you got somewhere. And, like, there's just so many... like conflicts there. I'm not sure. I don't think you want to live in that house. I think you want your own things. So I don't think you care about the people in that house or what's going on really.
being given everything that I'd planned, and given the India being given everything I was aiming for. Back to talking about the tour itself, and India being given everything that I'd planned, and given the permission to take over.
Okay, we've got problems here. Martin gave her his own permission without asking myself. Again, if you've got a 50-50 business and you're both listed as directors on the books, then there's a problem. You know, you've got decision processes to make between you. You can talk about that. But if it's just something up in the air, it's bullshit. And again, she's saying this thing about this plan. Earlier, she said the plan wasn't a full plan, that it needed to be upgraded and made in full. So they've done that themselves. They've made their own plans, mate. They fucked your plan off and they've made their own plans. Your plan was worthless. Remember?
Everything that I'd planned, and given the... And
she can't even say it. She goes, everything that I've planned. That's because the word planned is not the first word on her lips. Because it's not... She didn't... It's just she's trying to think of a better word than everything that I copy and pasted.
Self and India being given everything that I'd planned, and given the permission to take over. They changed the name of the tour. They changed it from whatever idea I came up with at the beginning and changed it to
Self-touching there, but it might have just been a scratch. I think that was just a scratch with the hair in her eye.
Martin's book. Name of the tour. They changed it from whatever idea I came up with at the beginning and changed it to Martin's book.
Right, offended, she drops that and like leaves a silence, like, you're going to be like, fucking hell, what a cunt. He said that. He changed it, title of the tour. Okay, so what? Martin's more popular. You've got him involved because he's popular, and the reason that you wanted him is to sell tickets. So using the name of his popular book in that, I don't think it's popular in that field. You know, that might be a good idea. And so what? It's the name of the tour. Somehow you own this thing. They shouldn't be doing that to you. Somehow they're idiots, and you, with your hand now, drop that bomb. They changed the name of the tour. That's offended you.
Like, so they named the whole tour after Martin's book. They'd completely taken away the collaboration part of the tour. It was supposed to be me and him joining as like a double, you know, like a collaboration.
A double act. A collaboration. Was it? Was it? Believe me, you know, was it? No, it wasn't. You said at the very start that it was 50-50 behind the scenes on the money because you want the money. But the collaboration front, you were going to do the planning and the driving, and Martin was going to do the tour. So it's a bit like being in a band, isn't it? You collaborate, don't you? But you've got different roles. So it's not going to be equal collaboration, is it? You didn't want to do everything. You wanted to do the driving because you wanted the £1,000 for your van, and you wanted to do the notes for the tour. You don't want to do the actual walk around tour. And you said we need Martin because he brings the people. It's a bit like me saying, because I'm a small streamer, aren't I? It's a bit like me saying I'm going to do a thing with PewDiePie. 50-50 split behind the scenes. PewDiePie, I want you to front it. And it goes on, you know, things happen, and, you know, everyone thinks PewDiePie's running the show and it's PewDiePie's tour. And I come in and go, hang on, wait, it's not PewDiePie tour, it's Scott and PewDiePie tour. I want equal footing. When I did the Strongman filming, I felt I did a lot more work than I got credit for, but I didn't demand to be the fucking co-director. Did I? Because it wasn't my show. No, I find it really weird that now, after, she can change the landscape of what the premise is here midway through.
The collaboration part of the tour, it was supposed to be me and him joining as like a double, you know, like a collaboration. It was supposed to be equal. But suddenly now it's Martin's Holy Grail of the...
I just want to see these hands because I think they tell us something. Hang on.
His book. They'd completely taken away the collaboration part of the tour. It was supposed to be me and him joining as like a double, you know, like a collaboration. It was supposed to be equal.
Not much.
But suddenly now it's Martin's Holy Grail of the Flat Reset tour. And then I've been asked to send in promo videos so they can do advertisements for it and stuff. And
it's not that you were asked to send in promo videos. If you remember back just a few minutes ago to what she said, she suggested that she make promo videos. She suggested it.
I just couldn't bear it. I felt...
And that is true now. This is true. She's coming from a place of truth. Or she might have got other notes, but I think this is true.
I felt so alienated from the whole thing, and I felt completely pushed out.
Yeah. So now she's got a problem. Again, it's this thing about groups and group psychology and wanting to be in charge of the group. Even though it's a group, now you feel pushed out. You weren't pushed out. You were just given equal status with other people. Other people's ideas came to the fore and yours put slightly to the side. So because you're not the big key player, because you're not number one, everyone does everything I say, you feel pushed out. That's not fair. You're not pushed out, but you should have walked. because this is number 4 opportunity to walk.
I didn't have the confidence to stand up for myself and really felt like...
Bullshit. Bullshit. You've got the confidence to go on YouTube and make videos. You've got the confidence to make this video causing all this trouble, getting all this drama riled up. You've got the confidence to do this. You've got the confidence to drive around in your van and meet up with people that you don't know. And, you know, northern girls, I'm just going to tell you a generality about the UK. It is a generality. It's not true. People have different facets to their personality all over the country. But northern people are a bit tough, aren't they? They're a bit tough. Don't you tell me that you and your peers, the people that know you, think you're some weak, vimpy ninny. Don't you tell me that. Don't you tell me that. I think this is rubbish what you're saying there. Painting yourself out to be some victim. That's ridiculous.
I deserved to be heard in all this. I just thought, okay, well, I'm not as big as Martin. No one really knows me.
That's exactly what you thought. I'm not as big as Martin. No one really knows me. How do I get as big as Martin? How does everyone get to know me? Through this.
Everyone knows Martin, so maybe it should all be about Martin kind of thing. I didn't feel worthy to be...
So you've outlined the problem there. You've outlined your own problem with this thing. And it's coming truthfully, this is. Her problem with this now, with this tour. At first, I want my money for my van. I want my van. I want my van. I want my van. Second, I should be running this. I should be getting all the credit. I should be getting all the subs. Not Martin. Martin's an idiot. How can Martin even be the biggest one on the internet? He's an idiot. I should be getting all this.
Even mentioned. So the talk earrings as well. They ordered a load of talk earrings.
Talk earrings. Oh my God.
And all it says all over it is Martin Liedtke, flat thumbs. And
yeah, because you got Martin in to sell the tour and be the personality and the face of it. So of course the fucking keyrings say that. Why would they say your name? Nobody knows who you are. You just told us that.
And nothing to do with me on there or it being a collaborate. Like nothing. Martin.
And this is what actually offends her.
And Liedtke, flat thumbs. And nothing to...
And that sneer again. Because Martin Liedtke, flat thumbs, is worthy of derision and sneering.
And all it says all over it is Martin Liedtke, flat thumbs.
It's like, this is a face of disgust, isn't it? Sneering disgust. Not disgust because he tried to put his hands on me. Not disgust because he went in my wallet and took my 50 quid. Not disgust because he's a... How can he be getting the money and not me? Why is his name on the keyring and not mine?
Load of talk earrings and all it says all over it is Martin Liedtke, flat thumbs. And nothing to do with me on there or it being a collaborate. Like nothing to do with what we're supposed to be creating. It's all Martin. So I wasn't having a good time at the place I was staying at because...
And here we go again. She looked into the script. So again, this is this weird thing. She's written this script, but for some reason she's decided to jump between the facts of the business and whether she's owed money and how to go about pursuing... Sorry, tapping the mic. How to go about pursuing that financial contention. And as we've seen, the reason she's not going to focus on that so much is that you can't contend that because you don't have a contract, you don't have an email, you can't go to court, you didn't really make a business, you didn't really make a business plan. None of that is admissible in grown-up world, in real world. All you've got is your he said, she said bullshit. Now, I told you, I've been in that situation before. I've shook hands on a project and I felt aggrieved. What I did, I turned away from them. I said, fine, I know now that I'm not going to do business with you in the future. Well done. It's a shame. We used to be big friends. But you shook my hand, so my friendship is now invalid because you shook my hand and you fucked over. You didn't do what you said on the handshake. We're done. Yeah, I can dig that. I can see, you can feel like that if you want. Because you might feel you shook hands in that room over 50-50. I don't know what happened in that room, remember. That is still not set in stone that even happened. I still don't know if it was a proper, meaningful handshake, eye to eye. When we do this, all the profits will be split. Or if it was just, yeah, well, you do that and I'll do this and you can have half and I can have half. And I woke up the next day and God, what did we say in that conversation? Something about Hurd. Something about doing a tour. Oh, it was a tour, wasn't it? Yeah, oh, we should go on that. I don't know if it was that or if it was the other. I don't know if it's Dragon's Den or fucking Joke Street Alley. But you can't argue this financial aspect anymore. We've seen that even if you did want to, this is not the venue for it or the arena for it. And so what she does is she gets close to it, she alludes to it, and then she'll change tack and say something quite personal, quite, in my opinion, quite vile and disgusting about Martin. She'll allude to the fact that Martin is a bad egg, essentially. And when she does more of it, I'll name it and I'll shame it. But she alludes to it. Now, Martin is not perfect in this. We're all human. Martin got his feelings for her and his feelings were hurt and he got a bit angry sometimes, I imagine. We'll find out. But that doesn't make him the devil. And that doesn't make her the angel. And it doesn't switch it round. I'm not saying that Martin is some sexually aggressive male. He doesn't seem like a sexually aggressive alpha male. I don't know that he is or not, but we give people the benefit of the doubt. You don't assume everyone is a raper just because, like, God, they're a man, so they could be a raper. And when someone says, oh, you know, he's a bit of a funny one, isn't he? Isn't he a bit of a weird one? You know, the two ladies standing there looking, oh, he's a bit of a weird one. When you start getting in a bully gang and bullying people for being a bit different and saying that they're rapers and they're this and that, yeah, all well and good. Yeah, all well and good. But you actually miss the real rapers. You miss the real people because you're trying to bully people for being a bit different. But actually, the real people who are doing the bad things, you're missing them. So let's not pretend that you're on some crusade to fix violence against women here. This has all been about your money. It's all been about your van. And now it's about who's got the support of the community. Who do the people out there in YouTube land think is good? Martin's an idiot. They should think it's me.
Because of partly to do with the things that Martin was telling me about these people, and partly to do with the fact that these people were a little bit controlling over me, and I really cannot deal with that. It was as far as like what I was allowed to eat and stuff like that. And
I'm just going to pause that quickly because I see this face on her that I want to smack again, like indignant. I've seen this before. What this face is when you have done something you know is wrong, someone calls you out for the wrong, and you feel so above them that you can say, no, fuck you, what I'm doing is right, you're in the wrong. People calling her out for what she's eating in a shared house environment, there are only two ways this could go down. One, you're eating a smelly curry and I'm trying to brush my teeth. Do you mind not doing that over breakfast? Do you mind eating that smelly whatever? You know, I don't like onions, they make me physically retch, so can you not cut up the onions while I'm in the kitchen? That sort of thing. I've got an allergy to oranges, so that chuffing chocolate orange is making my eyes go. Can you not, telling you what to eat in the house? That would be that would be mean, wouldn't it? Or it would be a compromise between people that live in the same environment. And certainly if it's not your fucking house, how dare you even suggest that people shouldn't tell you? It's their house. And then the second thing is, what if they're saying, please don't eat my chocolate because I bought it and it's mine, and you don't think so much of people, so you just fucking eat their chocolate. And it's only a bit of chocolate. I don't follow your rules. Oh, I'm not allowed to have a cup of tea now. Oh, you pay for the tea bags, do you? Am I not allowed to use the soya milk to put in my tea? Oh, this person's such a cunt, they won't even let me use their milk. I don't know. I'm not there. You're not telling me any evidence. You're not showing me any evidence. You're just suggesting something that I can't verify. And to you, it's an indignity that it should be happening. And you feel above it and better than them.
Not deal with that. It was as far as...
She says this thing as well. I can't deal with that. I hate that expression. I can't deal with that. Suck it up and deal with it. Life's hard, yeah? Life's hard. When teenagers or, no offence to teenagers really, but, when young people, I can't deal with that. Oh, I'm not dealing with that. Like, I do suggest for mental health reasons, you don't deal with things that are causing you mental distress, yeah. But just to go, yeah. Yeah, I know you are, but what am I? Yeah, am I bothered? Oh, not deal with that. I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to discuss it any further. I'm not going to be open to ideas and conversation. I'm just not going to deal with it. Closed book. Because I'm right, you're wrong. And you can't prove me because I won't talk about it. Jesus, I can't deal with that.
Partly to do...
You can't deal with it. It's not other people can't deal with you, is it? It's not other people having trouble with you in the house. I let this girl live at my house on Martin's proviso and now she thinks I'm a rapist and is drinking all my milk. Like, Jesus.
With the things that Martin was telling me about these people, and partly to do with the fact that these people were a little bit controlling over me, and I really cannot deal with that. It was as far as like what I was allowed to eat and stuff like that, and in the house, and it's a bit, that's too controlling. I was nervous.
Yeah, you were nervous because you're stopping with strangers and you're doing things that are pissing them off. And then another point about that I wanted to raise as well.
I really cannot deal with that. It was as far as like what I was allowed to eat and stuff like that.
She's making out here that she is the victim of domestic abuse. And
in the house, and it's a bit, that's too controlling.
Too controlling. men in the house are controlling her, telling her what she can't eat. This is her trying to say, Amber Heard again. Remember Amber Heard and Johnny Depp? This is her saying that these bastard men are controlling me. You know what controlling men are like. You've been the victim of domestic abuse yourself. I'm sure somebody has. Now you're on my side. Because these bastard men, these bastards.
I was nervous. I didn't know who to trust.
But just because you're nervous doesn't mean they're rapers. It doesn't mean they're rapers because you're nervous. That's unfair.
Didn't know who was genuine. So I trusted in Martin. So anyway, Martin rings me up one day, about 10 days before the talk.
And again, trusting Martin, ringing you up at 4 a.m, not off his... Of course you fucking didn't. If you did, you'd leave the house immediately. Wouldn't you? You wouldn't stay there. You'd leave. You'd live with Martin. Of course you didn't fucking trust Martin because he's rung you up. You told us he was telling you bullshit. She catches herself out with her own lies. Unbelievable. Catching herself out with her own lies. So what are we up to now? 2:25. Okay, I'll carry on for a bit. I will carry on for a bit. I don't know if we finish our entire video today because it is 11 minutes in and I've done nearly 3 hours. But I'm going to get a quick drink, refill my drink because I need to wet my whistle while I talk. And I will be back in just 2 minutes. Yeah. So while that happens, I'm going to put on the relaxing music of PlayStation songs. And I'll literally just be 2 minutes, okay? Banging everything around now. Let's put that carefully down there. Chuffers. Right, the boy's back in town. I don't like leaving the stream like that, but what can I do? What can I do? Could be more prepared for a big long sesh, couldn't I? Didn't know it was going to take this long. Right, let's crack on. Now we're going to try and crack on with a little bit more alacrity. There's some bits coming up though. There's some stuff at the end that's really clear. So if I don't finish it all in one sitting, we'll just have to come back tomorrow. But there's some stuff that's really clear at the end.
All begins, and he says, Jade, I'm coming up there, I'm coming to collect you, and we're going back to Cardiff, and you're going to stay with me until the tour. And I said, Martin, I can't leave here. My van isn't even finished. I need to be able to live in the van after the tour.
Oh, we know about your fucking van. It's all about your van, isn't it? And now we're getting into this thing again. Is this about the tour and the money that's owed? Because now we're starting to get into the relationship between her and Martin. The idea that Martin would suggest that she would live at his house. The idea that Martin is romantically attached, is becoming romantically attached, or is having romantic ideas. Now, at this stage, this is vital that this is heard. This is a really important part of this broadcast. Vital that this is heard. You draw the line. She knows. She's suggesting it to us. She's not telling us lies direct. She's alluding to things like we saw earlier. Do you remember earlier? She didn't say the exact thing, but we know what she was saying. She was saying that it was sexual violence, or that the threat of sexual violence, but she didn't say it. She wanted you to get the idea without her saying it, right? That's happening here again. You're supposed to get the idea that Martin is sleazing onto her. Well, that's one way of saying it. You could also say you're supposed to get the idea that Martin is becoming attracted to her, or whatever. You know, whatever. You're getting the idea that Martin wants to be involved with her romantically. She's giving you that idea herself. So don't pretend that you don't know it. If you're, what's her name, Jade? If you're Jade and you're pretending, I didn't know Martin fancied me. I thought he was just being nice to me. Oh, but what a twisted thing for a man to fancy a woman and to want to pursue a romantic relationship with her if they have a lot in common and he finds her attractive. What a cunt. Like, if that's what she's trying to put in your mind, number one, she's not saying it. Number two, she thinks it in advance. Why didn't she just say, Martin, no, I'm not attracted to you. This is not a romantic thing. Please, let's keep the lines drawn. Maybe she did. I don't know. I wasn't there. But the fact that she won't overtly say this has been happening makes me feel that she's been letting it go on for her own advantage. That she's been not stringing him along necessarily, not giving him the wrong idea, but certainly not shutting down his ideas, and certainly not, making it clear because it's to her advantage to get something from Martin. So she has not made things clear. Now, I think it's hard then later to say, but Martin tried to come on to me. But Martin thinks he could be, Martin had a different idea about our relationship. Well, that's because you gave him those ideas, or at least didn't shut down the other ideas. That's because you saw it coming and used it. Let's be grown-ups. Some people, this could go the other way. No, it's not fair for a lady to have to do that. A man should know that he shouldn't try and come on to a lady. It's not fair for a lady to have to lay down these ground rules. Men should just know that they're not objects and pieces of meat. Yeah, of course. But they're also allowed to have feelings and pursue relationships. Otherwise, no one would ever get married. So, it's a 6 of one, half a dozen, it could be. But it's not fair to lay it all at Martin's door. And it's certainly not fair for her to know about it, perceive it before she moves in, perceive it before when the offers are being made. At this juncture, when Martin's laying these ideas down about the people she's being forced to live with, she's telling us Martin's got feelings for her. She spotted it then. She did not shut it down. Big red flag on her part for her validity and her telling the truth. She needs her van fixed. Martin's going to be paying for it.
So I need to make sure that I'm definitely going to get my payment from the tour to be able to survive. And he assured me that I would be paid what I'm earned.
Oh, whoa, hang on.
I've earned from it.
What I've earned from it. You see, we're jumping between the two problems. We're jumping between the financial irregularities and the emotional thing. We're back to this. Okay, what you earn for it, you don't earn anything from it. You're 50-50 on the business. You get half the profits at the end. So there's no earning. What I've earned, I've done 2 hours today. You owe me for 2 hours at £4 an hour, or what is it now, £7 an hour. You owe me for £10 an hour. No, you're equal partners in the business. So you take the rough with the smooth. You have to accept that all the costs go out first, and then we split the money. No, or you're just getting earnings. You're just earning your wage. I'll pay you a day rate. You get £40 a day. I'll pay the petrol. Shut up. Like, none of this was ironed out beforehand. So you can't then say that you are owed something that you didn't categorically state in an email or contract beforehand that you would be owed. There is no definite here. You are just... It feels really it made me angry to say you owed it, that you earned it, because that's not the case. is it? Martin earned it through his own personality, through his own draw. Martin earned it by going on the tours and doing all that. You earned it by driving a van.
To be able to survive, and he assured me that I would be paid what I've earned from it, and that if I didn't have my van finished, I could stay at his house, and Lawrence was going to help me with the van because he can do that kind of work. That's
Martin's son. Really nice offer that is, isn't it? If you've got problems, you can stay at my house and my son will help you fix your van. I've seen on Lawrence's YouTube page, Welsh Dragon Metals, he's really good with that sort of stuff. He'd have probably done a good job.
So I trusted him. I thought, okay, well, I just trusted him.
Jump cut, say, I trusted him. I thought, well, and then, oh no, don't say that. Right, hang on.
He can do that kind of work. And so I trusted him. I thought, okay, well, I just trusted him.
I just trusted him. Let's not go too deeply into your motivations then, eh? Let's just say you just trusted him. Not that you thought you could get this or X, Y, Z or that on the money. I'm halfway down this con now, so I'm going to in for the long haul. And if I move in, I can get more control over the man.
Kind of work. And so I trusted him. I thought, okay, well, I just trusted him like an idiot. So he came in.
Bullshit. You don't think you're an idiot.
And
This woman doesn't think she's an idiot. She thinks she's smarter than everyone else, remember?
He's going to help me with the van because he can do that kind of work. And so I trusted him. I thought, okay, well...
We're going to see a shake of the head.
Well, I just trusted him.
I just trusted him. No, you didn't. This woman doesn't trust people easily. I bet you if you know this woman, she's told you at some point that she's got problems trusting people. I bet she's told you that. I have problems trusting people. I'm vulnerable. People have done things to me in the past. I've been the victim of this and that. I have problems. I bet she said that. It's just my conjecture, but I bet she does. And I don't think she trusts people in a naive way. She does this fucking thing on the internet where she questions the goddamn narrative. She does a whole channel on the internet all about not trusting what people tell you, not trusting these patriarchal men and what they've told you, but thinking for yourself. I trusted him. Get over. Question your own narrative, question the narrative, question this lady's narrative that she's spinning here.
Like an idiot.
Like an idiot, laughing because you've just told a lie. And laughing because the idea that you're an idiot is funny to you because they're the idiots. Looking up into your visual construct of made-up images.
So he came and collected me from the house I was at, and then we went back to his house. So
the actual matter of a fact then was true. You know, she intersperses the truth with the conjecture or lies.
So
by
he came and collected me from the house I was at.
What she's about to say next would be true. So he came and collected her. Yeah, you know, that seems genuine.
And then we went back to his house.
Like, simple statements of fact, she can clearly say those in a true way. And that's different from the way she was saying the other things. So it's not consistent with her, is it? So there's inconsistencies in her body language all over the place.
So when I'm at Martin's house, everything seemed okay. I was sleeping in my van outside and then coming in during the daytime. And then I was working on my van when I could. I asked Martin...
Oh, these bullshits. Just continue. Working on my van when I could. I'm not saying you're not a welder. I'm not saying that you're not a welder. But I don't know what work you've been doing, because obviously you haven't got it finished because it's not livable. I just worry about people who say things like that. Oh, yeah, I was working when I could. What else have you got going on that's so busy that you can't fix your fucking van? It's your top priority. I don't know, when I could. Or is it the money? When
I'll be paid for the tour. If tickets are selling, when should we expect to have money? Because my van does need to be finished off.
Could you imagine that? Shut up about your fucking van. If you say your van one more time, I'm going to have to smack you. Like, could you imagine living in that situation where you haven't even started the tour? You're not even on the fucking tour and she wants money for the van. You don't get that money until a year has passed in our business and we've done all the accounts and the profit and balances are done. It's not that we sold some tickets and I'm going to give you... Shut up.
I'm going to be living in it. And my diesel heater was broken.
Diesel heater, that's not good for the environment.
I needed to buy a new one. Like, there was things I needed, like...
Things you needed.
Curtains and stuff. And...
Martin did send me funds in dribs and drabs when I asked about the money to keep me quiet and complacent. See PayPal screenshots in this video. Oh my God, she did get paid. You wait, you're going to see it. Imagine how much money you think she's earned over the course of a drive around the country in a van. Imagine how much money you think I should pay you to drive me to Leeds, Newcastle and Doncaster. Do you know what I mean? Imagine how much money you would expect for me to drive you. How much money would you charge or expect? Think that in your head, because it's going to come up in a bit. Martin did send us some money. He did send her money, but she said the money was for fucking the heater in advance and stuff like that. And she's saying he sent her the money to keep her quiet. No, quite, she says, quite and complacent. Well, not only can you not spell, I'm assuming it says quiet, but that's just a conjecture. That's hearsay. I don't know why he sent you the money. Maybe he did it to keep you quiet, or maybe he did it because you wouldn't fucking shut up about your fucking van, and he's trying to be nice to you. Jesus, I wouldn't be giving you any money. I wouldn't. Martin has.
He told me that he doesn't
This looks like honest.
know when we can have the money because India from Holistic Media is withholding it all, and he.
Christ, the things, isn't it weird? I say in advance what I think it's going to be, honest or lies, based on her body language. She's looking up into something here that she can remember having seen, visual images. So I think she's looking into she's remembering an email she's seen, and then she's going to say something, and it's going to either be true or false based on my conjecture. I'm saying this is going to be a true one.
Have the money because India from Holistic Media is withholding it all, and he has.
So that is on Martin's side. That's on Martin's side. Capital K, you've been gone an hour, she's still talking about the van. Exactly. And this is going to turn into a massive, long video, but people want to hear it. People want to see it. I have to give it the, do it the justice of going full into it, because it's important. This is people's lives. You know, she's making a big fuss about this man.
To beg her to send money. And that instantly put, panic mode in my brain because...
Panic mode in my brain. And then she's doing this half-cocked sneer. Because panic mode, because Martin's a fucking idiot. Panic mode in her brain, because she's losing control of the bag. Panic mode, because Martin's going to get scammed by someone else. And a scammer can spot a scammer. So that's the panic mode. Alarm bells are ringing because someone's getting their hands on my money. And Martin's not giving me my money. Money, money, money. Van, van, van.
This lady has suddenly got all access to the funds of the tickets.
And don't get me wrong, I think this lady, we're going to have to dig deeper into it. I don't know anything about India. But I do think India, from what I've seen, from both ends of this argument, is conning Martin and trying to corral the audience so that one big player comes out on top.
And he's telling me that we have to beg her for this money, which to me, that's not a good thing when you're relying on that.
Oh, there's me, skipped it like an idiot. I was reading the comment, massive long is good, got all day, fine, I'll carry on, yeah.
Tainted my opinion on the people around us and made me feel isolated. Or
let me get back to exactly where we were.
I was with Martin at his house. He was asking me basically to move to Mexico to take her away. I had around me that I could trust was Martin, which is, I don't know where he's got that from, but that's...
God, this is so long, man, and I haven't even done 10 minutes of it.
Put chevrons in stuff, and he thinks that's the... Media is withholding it all, and he has to beg her to send money. And that instantly put, panic mode in my brain because this lady has suddenly got all access to the funds of the tickets, and he's telling me that we have to beg her for this money, which to me, that's not a good thing when you're relying on that money to live. Yeah, and he told...
That was really, really telling, but I'm not going to pick up too much. Now I've said so much, I think you can start to spot these things as they go past. But really telling that is something that's, stressful for her.
And he's telling me that we have to beg her for this money, which to me, that's not a good thing when you're relying on that money to live. Yeah, and he told me he doesn't act...
She's relying on that money to live. Well, that's fucking stupid, because we've been over and over it. Not only is it not guaranteed money, is it? Who's going to buy a ticket? I don't know. Not even is it not guaranteed money, but it might not add up to enough to live on, and you might not even be getting it for a year. It's just fucking stupid to assume it's money to live. If you've got that invested into it, if it's that important to you, you're going to fucking fight for that money, aren't you? Money in your van. He told me he doesn't know India from Holistic Media. God, well, that was a mistake to let her hold the money then. Any idiot can see that. But then Martin is a bit of a fool with his money, isn't it? And a fool with his money is soon parted. This is all, like I said, Holistic Media, I believe, is trying to become a big shadow player and there's a greater concept going on there, not what these two are involved in, and Holistic Media is going to try and run off with the bag, it seems.
Actually know her, and that she approached him out of nowhere, and that she puts hidden subliminal messaging in his videos and promos about space. She's put chevrons in stuff, and he thinks that's deliberate.
And he thinks that's deliberate, implying she doesn't think it's deliberate. She thinks it's a stupid thing that he thinks, implying that he's stupid again. But careful here, because these are the things that your audience believe, and that's why you use these ideas, because stupid people believe them. So she thinks she's above these people, that people who believe this shit are stupid, and that she sees through it.
Again, to bring him down. And he also said that she was in the military and secret intelligence and things like that.
And it's this face of like...
Also said that she was in the military and secret intelligence.
Like, this face of like, how could you be that stupid? Like, obviously, she thinks Martin is stupid for believing this military intelligence, conspiracy stuff. Do you see what I'm saying? She's a conspiracy theorist who spins conspiracy theories online so she can profit from the conspiracy theories, so she can make money from it. And she thinks that the conspiracy theories that this man is saying are rubbish and show him up to be an idiot. Weird, isn't it? Weird. Lee says, I'm sure she'll get on with Amber. Yeah, exactly. I think there's a lot of Amber in this. There's a lot of Amber in this. This is the op-ed that Amber did. She's taking down Martin from the position of like poor victim, isn't she? But she's not in a position of poor victim. She's come into this with her eyes open, trying to use Martin and his popularity so that she can develop her own YouTube channel and page and become an equal with Martin. She said as much that she thinks she should be considered an equal on the keyrings. And yeah, so she's not genuine.
And things like that. And that he thinks she's paired up with his friend Mel, and they're both against him and they're plotting to bring him down.
And this worried me because I wonder whether she now, at that point, hearing that, I wonder whether she then thinks to herself, I should be on their team. I wonder whether she would plot to bring him down if she had the opportunity. I don't want to put funny ideas in his head. I'm not going to delve down that any further until we go and look at something India has said. But thus far, we're looking at this. So, funny idea, but I don't know which side of it she's on.
Same for his publisher as well, Kate Bewley. We met her at his house.
She mentions Kate Bewley by name, right? And she goes on now to say that Kate's nice, but she's such a bitch, right? So, sorry for using the word. It's a terrible word to use. I'm sorry. I don't know what the best way to say it, though. You know, it's a malignant, malicious... Oh, I pressed the fucking button again. It's a malignant, malicious little way to do this, is to say nice things about someone, but use their name...
With his friend Mel, and they're both against him, and they're plotting to bring him down. Same for his publisher as well, Kate Bewley.
So she's stating the names of these people, so you can go and look online and find them. So you can give them some shit or whatever it is. She's stating their names. Caesar was a good man. I come to bury Caesar. I come to praise Caesar, not to bury him. That's all the way back from Mark Antony and Shakespeare. It's persuasive language where you say nice things about people, but you know, you've said her name on the internet now, her full name.
We met her at his house, and she seemed absolutely lovely. She
seemed lovely.
Showed me her van and everything, because we both have...
Showed her a van. You both got vans. It's back to the fucking van.
Vans. And when I came back in, he told me that she's never paid him a single penny for any of his books.
Oh, she's never paid him for the books, he said. Now we're into he said, she said shit about money. Now quickly, just quickly here. Oh, it's such an episode today. I'm going to do it anyway. I don't care. I'm going to do it. Quickly here. Have you ever seen Peep Show? Vanity Publishing. Because this happened to Mark in Peep Show. Right? It's a con. Oh, God. It's a con. And what happens, this happens to people in real life, is that someone will come up to you and say, oh, you're interesting. I like your stuff. Let's write a book. You can write a book. It's going to be good. Yeah? It's going to be good.
I think we should...
But you're going to need to give me $2,000 for the publishing, just to pay for the publishing. And
have a glass of something that for legal reasons must call itself sparkling grape-style drinking wine.
Thanks. Have they found some legal way to force me out of the flat?
Mark's found a publisher for his book.
Brilliant. His book? What next? He's found a director for his film, a builder for his cathedral.
Got the email today from BL Books. Very enthusiastic. They've got a slot as long as I can finish my rewrites ASAP. I guess what this shows is hard work pays dividends.
I know what you mean. I was working pretty hard today on my course.
Yeah, exactly.
Appearing on I'm a Celebrity is not the same as winning an Olympic gold medal.
I suppose this means
So he's got a published deal for his book, but they pressurise him into things. And through the show, you find out that he's had to pay money to get it done.
Hey, Mark.
And this is the book launch.
Good. Yeah, great. Few errata. Always going to be a few errata.
Yeah, always.
No, it's going to be a good night, I reckon. Yeah. So, Jez, listen, I'm just going to go home out the fire escape or the window. But would you ask the pub man if I can have my deposit back? And would you tell everyone I've made a horrible mistake? Goodbye.
Mark?
They misspelt my name, Jeremy.
Mark Crorigan. But hey, it looks good, man. I mean, some of it's difficult to read because the text kind of disappears into the binding, but...
They're printouts, Jeremy. They're not books. They're just printouts.
Every fibre of my being wants to scream, I told you so, but I'm a life coach now, sort of.
Greg said he really liked Chapter 14, the Nile irrigation viral marketing comparison. Why would he leave that out?
I don't know, Mark. Maybe it's just one of those things.
One of those things. It's a con job. It's called vanity publishing, right? And so what they do is they say to you, I like your book, I like your ideas, and you're going to need to print the book, but I'm going to need some money. So you pay for a bit of this, you pay for that. You can actually go and get your book printed now. You don't have to pay anyone else other than the printer these days. And then you have to sell that book to make the money back. But of course, the printer, the publisher, your publisher, doesn't have to spend any money because you spent the money. So they're taking a cut. You do fucking everything, even put up the money, and they take a cut every time you sell a book. It's just a joke. It's a joke. So Vanity Publishing, she now accuses Martin of essentially that. She accuses the publisher of that. I don't know anything about whether that's happened. I don't know who's paid what money. She brings this up.
Both have vans. And when I came back in, he told me that she's never paid him a single penny for any of his books. He's never received a penny for his books. That's what he said. And then he kept saying he was adamant that he was told he was going to be a millionaire from his book, which is... I don't know where he's got that from, but that's what he's had in his head, that he's supposed to be a millionaire, and that hasn't come to fruition. So now he's accusing her of never paying him.
But again, she does this. I mean, again, it's bad body language. It's not telling the truth. She's manipulating what people have said.
To be a millionaire, and that hasn't come to fruition. So now he's...
Look, that look, she's just making up a story here. She's got the key players. She's making up their lines and the attitudes and the way they spoke. She's reading you off a story to make Martin look bad. It's got nothing to do with anything here. Where's this come from? The work of the master manipulator.
Accusing her of never paying him. Turns out later that was all a lie, that she actually has paid him for his books, but whatever. So he's telling me that about this K lady, that his publisher, that she might be teaming up with India Wilson from Holistic Media again, to pair against him, and she was also in the military. So these people all had military backgrounds.
And again, she's like trying to say that Martin's an idiot and this is some weird conspiracy that he believes, and she's not into it. But it does give us a couple more pieces of information. Maybe the publisher and this India person could either be the same person or part of the same people that are spreading the same weird shit. Someone at some point is giving Martin some fucking weird ideas in order to con him. That's happening, I guess, in a bigger picture. We'll have to look into that as well. But it's not what this video is about, is it?
They're all against Martin, and they're all teaming up to bring his life down. And I don't know why I believed any of the stuff that's coming out of this man's mouth at this point, but he says it with such confidence, like it's actually real. It pulled me in. I thought I could trust him because he'd already tainted my opinion on the people around us and made me feel isolated.
Oh, so now what you're trying to say is he's a gaslighting bully who made you feel isolated from people you just fucking met. His mates that you just met, like, and that you were already having problems with because you had problems with eating things in the house. But all of a sudden, it's Martin's gaslighting you and trying to isolate you from other people, like some kind of like Martin loves you and he wants you for himself, so he's going to do this. Don't say that though. Don't actually say that. Just say all this other shit to make us feel like you're some kind of weak victim. But you're a grown woman, 30 years old, from Leeds, like. Far be it from me to stereotype, but in today's day and age, you get tough lasses from up north.
Already, by telling me that these people I was close to are actually not those people. And I feel really bad saying this, but I'm sorry for this, Lawrence, but I've got to say what he said.
Oh, this goes bad. Capital K, I am a Martin sympathiser now because she's bullying him. But I don't sympathise with him on everything, do I? You know me. Same old G, been low-key. All these G's with no snowmobiles and no G's. Fire my family with groceries. Oh, please, think I bow down on both knees. This is bad, though. I'm making a joke here, but this is bad. She said Lawrence said something. She's about to get between a man and his son. And she's going to say things that nobody can verify, that may or may not be true. I'm going to tell you whether her body language seems sincere. And that's all we can do with this. But it gets sick.
Basically, he said, when I said Lawrence was nice, me and Lawrence got on fine when we met. And Martin said he doesn't trust him around women. And he wouldn't trust him if he had a girlfriend. He would feel very worried for the girlfriend. So at that point, I was worried and scared to hang around.
The only thing I can take from that is that she's trying to assert it with confidence. Worried to be with Lawrence alone due to Martin's warning. Here, it says over the top. There wasn't much eye movement. And that's a little bit of a worry, because when someone's telling you a lie, they think they have to stare in your eyes because you can see if they're lying. So they think you have to look right down the camera for that lie. It's a little bit of a worry. There's a close of the eyes here because it was stressful to say it. I don't know. It might, this is a hard one to read, but I will read the content of what she said and say that's a horrible thing to say on the internet. True or not, it might be something you might talk privately about with someone, but certainly not broadcasting she's now trying to drive a wedge between the man and his son, which, whether true or not, I'm not able to really ascertain, but quite a vile thing to do if not true. Quite a horrible thing to do even if true. If something could be sorted and worked out through a conversation between people, better than if you should just say, oh, your dad said this about you. Did you hear what so-and-so said about you on the internet?
And Martin said he doesn't trust him around women, and he wouldn't trust him if he had a girlfriend. He would feel very worried for the girlfriend.
And it's ambiguous statements, and it might have even been a joke. Mightn't it? Might even been a joke. It might, who knows what he means there. You're trying to paint him out that Martin thinks his son is capable of sexual violence. That's what you're trying to say, but you don't say it.
So at that point, I was worried and scared to hang around with Lawrence. So the only person I had around me that I could trust was Martin in this whole situation, and the only person I could rely on to be able to get me in a situation where I could look after myself financially was Martin.
Weird. It seems weird, doesn't it, that someone you just met fairly recently, Martin, who you look up to on the internet, should suddenly be responsible for your living arrangements and your financial arrangements. And you're telling us now that it's Martin's responsibility to make sure you're financially secure, and it's Martin's responsibility to make sure you've got somewhere safe to this age. Why have you not got any other friends that you can rely on? How have you got into this situation? I don't know anything about you. You're 30 years old. Everyone has abandoned you. From what you're telling me, everyone has abandoned you. Now you're telling me that Martin is a piece of shit who is trying to get you to, trying to trap you in his house so he can sex you up. And at the same time, he's the only person you trust. And, it's a bit of a... when we actually dig down into what she's saying, if you just listen to it, if you just don't stop it and start it and just listen to it, you end up thinking, God, Martin's a bit of a chuffer, the poor girl. But if you dig down into what she's saying, piece by piece, it's fucked up. It doesn't make sense. And it's full of problems.
So I was basically stuck under Martin's everything. He was in control of everything in my life.
Martin's not been trying to control you. You've not been stuck under Martin's control. This is not you got married to someone and then 10 years down the line, they're looking on your phone and they won't let you out and all that shit. That's not what this is. This is a mate that you've met. You tried to do some money making with them, on the back of them, and it's starting to go to shit and you haven't got much money. And that wasn't Martin's fault before. Up to 30 years old, it wasn't Martin's fault you didn't have any money. Martin is not responsible for your van. Martin is not responsible for your van. Yeah? At no point, even if he said, I'll try and help you pay for it, it doesn't matter. That's him being nice. It doesn't matter what he said. He's not responsible for your van.
So I was basically stuck under Martin's everything. He was in control of everything in my life. I was talking about what I was going to be doing after the tour. And I was talking about how I was going to use my money to go up to Scotland.
My money again. Going to use my money. See what I mean? She's already spending this mythical money. When you're in business, you don't sit down and say, right, it's like the people who go in Dragon's Den, my business is worth 2 million quid, and they go out with nothing because they're a chuffer, I'm out. But if you're already spending the money that you don't have, that you think Martin is responsible for paying you for basically writing something on your phone and driving the van around, you're fucking off your head, aren't you? You've already spending the money, mate. I can see where your motivation is.
After the tour, and I was talking...
You're already on after the tour now. Boxers don't look beyond their current fight. Focus on the tour, get that sorted, earn your money. No, after the tour, I'm going to go out and spend the money on... I'm going to have my van sorted.
about how I was going to use my money to go up to Scotland. I was going to first take my nana to Wales on a holiday because she's not very well. I wanted to take her away. And then I wanted to go move back up to Scotland and start work again up there somewhere whilst living in my van.
Your van is your van again. So that'd be cold up in Scotland in a van. But your plan now is to drive around the country, Wales, Scotland, in your van. That's coincidental, isn't it? Because that's the plan for the tour. So you could get 2 birds done with 1 stone. It's almost like we're going to pay you your petrol money to do what you fucking want, isn't it? It's almost like you've got a second interest in this tour now because you want to go on holiday and you want to go up to Scotland. It's almost like our tour is going to pay. I'll pay for your petrol money to go to Scotland. Brilliant. You want £1,000? I'm ready with it up front. And you want half the money when we bring the tickets in? I'll give you that. You're in charge. Brilliant you. I mean, come on. Dragon's Den, that shit.
Couldn't do that until the van's finished, until I have finances. It was all promised to me at the end of this tour by Martin. He got really angry at me when I told him what I was going to be doing, that I'd be leaving and going to Scotland, and he shouted, so you're just going to take your money and fuck off then? Okay,
objection hearsay. Assuming it's true, that's not very nice for him to say. He obviously felt wounded that you were just going to take your money and fuck off because he thought you were building something together, like a project, like, you know, he thought you were in on this stuff and, you know, he got these ideas about you. It's a shame he got romantically involved in you and you didn't draw any clear lines and tell him no because you wanted the money. But using his emotions like that is sad. When you could see he was getting angry, maybe now's the time to draw the line or walk away. Or walk away. But Martin is now starting to get angry, okay? I don't think it's nice to shout at people. I don't think it's nice to be angry. I think it's fair to have emotions. And from what I can see, he's angry because you want to use him to make money and then take your money and off up to Scotland and bye-bye. And he's trying to be nice to you and help you and support you. And really, you don't give a fuck about him or his friendship. You do just want what you can gain financially out of it and then to fuck off. Proof and evidence by the fact that that's what you want to do. Like, you don't want to say, oh, and by the way, Martin, do you want to come up to Scotland and visit me? Because we're great friends we are. No, fuck you, Martin. Once I've done with you, you're used up and spat out. Jesus.
That's what he said to me. Okay, so whilst I was with Martin at his house, he...
And you're trying to paint it out like some domestic violence victim, like an Amber Hurd, that Martin's, like, you know, in some way trying to control you now because he's got his own feelings. But at the end of the day, Martin's quite happy for you to drive around the country in your fucking van. He's not took your keys, has he? He's not on your phone. Like, the only reason you can't do these things is because you can't do them because you haven't got the resources. You're trying to control Martin to get the money.
Was asking me basically to move to Mexico with him. He was saying that he wants to leave everything behind. He wants to leave his YouTube behind. He wants to leave his family, his son behind.
I don't think he said, I want to leave my son behind. Maybe that would have been in conflict. But if he wants to go, she's implying he said that. Just a big smile here because she thinks she's caught him out being a bastard again. I can prove you're a bastard. You said this thing. You don't care about your son. You know, it's one of those things, isn't it, that they, you know, when you try and pretend to be so holier than thou, because, you know, what a bastard, he would have done this to his son. People make difficult decisions in life, Jesus Christ. He might have just been talking when he was stoned about Mexico. I don't know. I've got no context. You're telling me hearsay, she said, he said about Martin again. Can you imagine that? Do you remember at school? Probably do. Someone who was always pissing and moaning about someone else. Eventually you say, stop your fucking moaning about that person. I'm fed up with you telling me about what he said, she said. You're the source of the problem.
To go live in Mexico. He said he's going to get it all paid for him from some other YouTubers, and he invited me to go along with him, and I refused. There's not a cat in hell's chance I would leave my cats behind or everyone behind during all this to run to Mexico. It's not something I'd want to do. So this was a live stream that Martin invited me to be on at his house before the tour.
This is now really getting somewhere. We are jumping now from what she's talking about to some fucking random thing, and now it's just pure, like, this is character assassination, isn't it? Edited heavily. Let's see what she says and I'll tell you why.
At this point, I think I'd been at his house for about 2 or 3 days. When he invited me on the stream, I didn't realise he wasn't going to be giving me a mic. He wasn't going to be giving me any headphones, which meant I was literally just sat there for 4 whole hours, unable to speak, unable to hear what was going on, just being absolutely humiliated in front of everybody.
I don't know if you're humiliated. He's invited you, a smaller YouTuber, to sit with him on his live stream. You're there at his house. He's doing his live stream. He's not ostracised you and said, no, you can't be in this. He said, if you want to sit here, absolutely. He probably doesn't have extensive sets. I've got multiple sets of headphones to my little podcast setup. Martin's not that well off. You might have your own headphones. And I tell you what, if I couldn't hear and I was sat there and feeling like that, I'd say, Martin, can I have an ear of your headphones, mate? Because I can't hear. Martin, what do you think about this? you know, I'd talk and he'd just offer me the microphone probably. Like, the fact that you sit there, meek, shy, maybe he thinks she's being shy. I won't push her. I won't try and force her to say stuff on camera. She'll talk if she wants to. You know, she's a grown-up. If she wants to ask for the microphone, maybe it was an oversight to not give you a microphone. Maybe you're not there as a guest. Maybe Moonbeamage is there as a guest and you're there to guest host. I don't know what it is. But he's invited you in. He's giving you... You're saying that you're being humiliated because you're sitting next to him on a stream. Get rich. Get real.
I don't think I've ever been so humiliated. I just didn't know what to do. I was just sat there.
Hopefully you feel more humiliated by listening to me right now, because what I'm saying should be more humiliating, calling you out on your bullshit.
Then I thought, right, just try and smile and keep a happy face and just push through. It was just horrendous. And I know it wasn't Moonbeam's fault this happened, but...
Why'd you do that? Why don't you just get up and move? Like, he's not keeping you there, is he? He's not like handcuffed you to the chair. This villain Martin, this bastard Martin who said, do you want to sit next to me on the YouTube? Like, that bastard. Why don't you just go and make a cup of tea? If you think it's so shit. Jesus Christ.
It is Martin's ignorance. Like, I don't know why he thought it was a good idea to only have one headset for himself. If anything, this live stream felt like he was just trying to show off that he had women talking to him.
And another way to look at it is he's giving you an opportunity to be on the live stream and show off your channel and who you are. And you get some extreme validation in that community circle from that. I wonder if your views went up or down.
In my opinion, I do have a lot to say on many subjects, so I felt completely muted and powerless in this whole live stream. I tried...
Well, thank God you're not. Thank God you're not mute and powerless. Thank God you've got eyes, arms, ears. You could have just stood up, said something. This isn't like you're not being held down and sexually abused here. Right? This isn't one of those. And it's horrible to think that people who have that, because people who have those horrible things happen to them feel they can't even speak about them. Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, if someone's been violent to me at home and I can't speak about it, that's horrible. Those people need to be able to speak out. But you, because you were sat next to somebody while they talked on the internet, feel that you've been abused. Get real. That's unfair and almost... like, it's making me indignant that it's almost talking down to people who suffer actual abuse, because you're making light, like you're putting yourself in their ballpark, the same as a domestic abuse victim, because you had to sit next to somebody while they talked on their regular internet show that you happened to be around the house for. Come on.
My best to stay positive, but I was really upset that night after this. Actually horrendous. I haven't watched it back because...
Haven't watched it. I think you were more upset you didn't get to be the big show. Moonbeamage was the big show that night, and you felt... Why wasn't it you?
It was too bad. The only time I remember Martin talking to me when he brought up my dead dad. He's not the guy who pretends to be on live streams, and that's what's shocking. He puts on this character. The minute that camera starts filming, he's a different man.
Let's just drop this thing about her dead dad then. That sounded really serious. I'm really sorry if your dad died. That's a really serious thing. But the way you've just jumped over it, dropped it like a, you know, like she drops these things because if I say this, you have to sympathise with me. Not I'm really feeling sad about my dad that died, but, oh, my dead dad, therefore you. My dead dad, therefore this. Like, using her dad's death in this way is a bit weird.
This character, the minute that camera starts...
And she says this thing that Martin alluded to, or absolutely accepted, that his Polish friend said on the previous video, was that Martin's different off camera. And we said, yeah, you might put on a bit of a facade. I'll tell you something, I'm not putting on a facade. And if you and me want to have a chat in the pub about something like this, I'll get this animated. But I won't be this animated when I'm cooking my dinner or while I'm chatting about the football. Or maybe I will about the football. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we have different facets. We're still the same person. So she's trying to say that he's a complete different person on camera, that he's got like these two characters. Now, what I would say is when people are grumpy, when they're fed up with you, when you piss them off, you might see that side of them one-on-one, and they're not going to show that on camera because they're not always grumpy with the people on the internet. So maybe there's that, you know, maybe there's that. But I'm not going to say because someone does that, they're like Jekyll and Hyde. It's just that sometimes we have different feelings at different times. But I don't think Martin, personally, even though he said it himself, that he said that he does flat thumbs when he's on the internet and he's all buoyant and then the camera goes off and he gets depressed. I think that, yeah, I think agree. But I think if you sit down with Martin in the pub, it'd basically be Martin, wouldn't he? I don't think he's suddenly going to have this like switch that he's like special on stage Martin with different ideas and a different persona. I think it's still really just Martin, but that's just my idea. I might be wrong. She's telling us that's totally wrong. He's Jekyll and Hyde, mate. Jekyll and Hyde.
That's filming. He's a different man. And to be honest with you, I was really embarrassed by his filthy jokes and stuff, but I thought, well, that's Martin, everyone expects that of him. But I was a little bit like, again, not humiliated, but I did feel really embarrassed that he was...
She's trying to say now sexual violence in conversation. She's trying to say he made sexual jokes and she felt humiliated. Ergo, this is like a woman being sexually, harassed in the workplace. You know, she's trying to paint him in this picture like this vile pig. But she didn't hear anything that was being said, apparently. But she obviously heard his sexy joke. I don't know what he said. Again, I haven't looked at that. This is something that we now have to go back and look over Martin if we want to decide whether he is, in that ballpark of being chauvinistic, isn't it? That's what she's saying. She's saying he's a chauvinist. And that he doesn't realise. I mean, I'm on the internet. You've heard me saying it a number of times now. He, she, they, trying to say they instead of he or she, trying not to say he all the time, the patriarchy. All right, guys. All right, lads. It's an open forum here. I'm trying to be not sexist. I'm trying to learn. You know, it's a new world these days, isn't it? And some of us try, some of us don't, whatever. But I didn't spot Martin being sexist or a chauvinist any other time up to now. So she's saying he has. Maybe we'll look into that. We'll have to continue with her video now, though.
Speaking to me like that. So yeah, it was too much. This live stream was horrible. I think I couldn't even sleep that night. I actually think that was the night I had a prolific dream.
There's no such thing as a prolific dream unless you have the dream over and over again. If it's a dream that you have over and over again, that's a prolific dream. But there's no a prolific. I don't know if she means lucid dream or something like that. But it's what she said, prolific dream. But we all love this. Everyone enjoys hearing someone's dream, don't they? Everyone enjoys being told what somebody dreamed. That's always fun. But I'll tell you something. You can dig into someone's psychology through a dream.
I'm going to tell you the prolific dream. So I was stranded on an island that was, it was kind of flooded out from the mainland because the ocean had come in. And
it's funny that she's all about her again. It's all about me again. Let's talk about me and my dream. So, this video is called Martin Liedtke, and now we're talking about her and her dream. She's on an island. She's isolated. Because she is isolated, she's been telling us she's got no money, no friends.
I had to wait until the next day to get back off this island. But on the island, it was all sunny and nice, and I thought, oh, fair enough. And there was actually a few truthers walking around in the grass on this island. And I heard a voice out of nowhere telling me to be careful of the snakes in the grass. And I didn't think much of it in the dream. I thought, okay, I'll be careful. And as I was walking, I actually saw an orange snake slowly slide in front of me, and that was the snake in the grass that I was... Right,
so, I mean, I'm taking her word here, remember? Like, she might just be making this shit up. But I'm taking her word. She's had a dream about a snake in the grass. So you can assume deception. Snake in the grass, that's a sign of deception, isn't it? Deception, deceit, lies, backbiting. You know what the snake in the grass, you know the concept. So that's going on in her head while she's asleep, the concept of snake in the grass. And she said it was orange. She specifically has mentioned orange, hasn't she?
Snake slowly slide in front of me, and that was the snake in the grass that I was dream. I thought, okay, I'll be careful. And as I was walking, I actually saw an orange snake slowly slide in front of me, and that was the snake in the grass that I was being warned about in the dream.
Okay, so we're looking now at Martin. She's suggesting Martin is this snake in the grass. We're looking at Martin and we're saying, what connection in her psyche is there between Martin and the colour orange? And I was thinking about it, and I was thinking maybe he has a high-vis jacket. Maybe he wears an orange jacket sometimes. You know, if he was constantly wearing an orange hat or something, it might slip in that way. He hasn't got orange clothes. He hasn't got an orange face. He's not really connected with the colour orange in any way, is he? I can't think of why this connection with Martin and orange. But we're supposed to think Martin is the snake, aren't we?
Dream. And I'm thinking now the snake in the grass was Martin all along.
Martin, that's what she says, Martin. But some people aren't that clever about their own interpretation of their own dreams. But some of us from the outside can see things very clearly. If you could just think of something connected to orange, then we could really get into this.
I had this prolific dream this evening after this live stream. So...
Oh shit! Your hair is orange! So I'm just going to drop the mic there. I know the stream is choppy. It's a bit like you have to think of this one as it being like a podcast, and the edit that I do is going to be absolutely in sync and no choppiness. I'm recording it at the same time, so that's not a problem. But the The stream's choppy, but a mic drop moment there. Can you think of anything orange? Yes, her hair. She has orange hair. She is the orange person. It's her hair, isn't it? It's her hair. So when you think about yourself in a dream, you know, subliminally, subconsciously, when you see these, because what Sigmund Freud would assert, and Jung would also agree, is that dreams are symbolic imagery. So you might see a snake, it might represent a person. She's down with that, she understands. What is the significance of the colour orange? Oh, it's her hair. So I would think, you know, I might be wrong, this is her dream, only she can interpret it truly. But I might suggest that she's dreaming about a snake in the grass, about the concepts of deceit and snidiness, backbiting, and the perception of who that snake is connected to her. It's herself. She's dreaming about her own, like she's stepping outside herself in a dream and seeing herself as a snake. Taking a little holiday, being a snake. That was her interpretation. Her own words about the snake. The only difference is she put Martin in. I'd say it looks like her and her hair. The only connection with orange, I'd say, is her. Yeah, definitely. We've got hair in chat. Yeah. So she's dreaming about herself being a snake. That's self-incrimination, mate. Isn't it? That's to reveal your inner side. If it's true and it's honest, that's one of the worst things she said.
When I asked Martin about the tickets selling, if we sold tickets and when I'll be getting paid, he told me that India was withholding all the money and that he has to beg her for money. And at this point, he'd already told me that he can't trust her. He doesn't know who she is. She's part of military intelligence and she has access to all the funds and we have to beg her for money. So that put me in like fear mode because I was relying on that money to survive. And he told me not to worry.
She's literally said that exact thing before. Do you remember earlier? She said fear mode, relying on the money to survive. I critiqued it all. So now she's going on script and I don't know if she's editing her own, I don't know if in the edit she's taking things from the future and dropping them back now and this looks good here and I'll say this here. I don't know if that's what she's doing, but it's weird that she's repeated that a little further down the line. Martin's colour is quite orangey dark at times. Yeah, you'd have to get into her head and decide what kind of orange, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. But for me on the outside, it just seems a little bit too easy.
There's £5,000 from ticket sales and I don't have to worry. I'll definitely get paid after the tour. It's just India's withholding it all.
Right, so now we've got this India thrown in again and the concept of £5,000 from ticket sales. So she's thinking to herself, she's got £2,500 coming. But that's not how it works, is it? Because you have to pay all the outgoings first and then whatever profit's left over, then you can start to divide up at the end of the year with your business.
After the first tour at Cardiff, the party afterwards, Martin got really... He had like an angry outburst at me. I said his friend was nice. We met his friend earlier that day. I said he was a nice guy. That's all I said. Nothing out of term, anything. And Martin shouts at me in front of people. Completely forgot there was people around.
Completely forgot there was people around. Objection, hearsay. Objection, hearsay. Her biggest mistake was not dating Martin. Her YouTube channel would have taken off. Maybe. Or maybe she thinks that this will take... Like, there's this... thing about like if she can shut him down and be the big hero, if she can be the one leading the bandwagon, then she's got double bubble because not only does she get bigger but his audience gets all that Martin money comes her way. Martin told her that he thought his subscribers were rich. Her subscribers are not rich. Most of our subscribers are not rich. Martin was talking shit, but she gets greedy, doesn't she? So she thinks, I want your subscribers, Martin. Your subscribers are rich. My subscribers are not paying me enough money, but your subscribers are buying your book. I want them. They're my subscribers now, Martin. I'll stab you in the back. I'll fuck you over. I'll set up this whole thing, and either it goes well and I get paid, and the minute it starts going wrong and this India's involved and I start losing my grip, and my van, I'm going to twist this, Martin. You wait till I make this video, Martin. You're going to look like... So, did you get the memo, Martin? You're about to be run over by the schoolgirl bully.
At me saying, for fuck's sake, Jade has a wife and kids, and then walked off.
And I don't know. Now, again, objection hearsay. She's saying Martin just came up to her out the blue and said, for fuck's sake, Jade, he's got a wife and kids. I don't know whether she was all over this guy touching his crotch. I don't know whether she was being, whether she knew he had a wife and kids and she was there, like, rubbing herself against him, or if this guy was really chasing after her and trying to get a phone number and Martin was really jealous. It's just objection hearsay. Take it to Johnny Depp court. Objection hearsay. It's a vilification of Martin. I'd need to have other people around to confirm how Martin does or does not behave. We'd need to discuss his motivations for behaving like that. We'd need to accept that, hang on, if Martin's looking out for somebody or believes there's some romantic intent or attachment, if you've not drawn the lines carefully with Martin up to this point, if you're leading him on because you want the money, then these things might come into play. It could be one, it could be the other. There are two sides to a story, and then there's the truth. And I don't know. I mean, Martin could have gone over the line here. He totally could have done. I don't know.
And I was just sat there like, what the heck was that about? I never said anything wrong. And even if I did want to say something, it's nothing to do with Martin.
And there's all this head shaking, and then this, like, Martin to see you next Tuesday, you know, this idea that it's nothing to do with Martin. Like, so if he did do anything, then we can do him for domestic abuse, being a controlling bully. So he can't win either way, Martin can't.
What the heck was that about? I never said anything wrong. And even if I did want to
Didn't do anything wrong, shaking her head, that's a bit of a problem.
say something, it's nothing to do with Martin.
And then there was that look up there. I don't know about what she's saying there. I can't really judge whether it's truth or not. I'm just going to call it conjecture.
At that point, I was just like, realised that something's not right.
And then she's looking into her own truth there. So that statement's true. That statement's true.
At that point, I was just like, realised that something's not right with him.
At that point, she realised something's not right with him. Maybe that's the first point where she realised that he's getting... See, there's a difference in what she's saying. That could be the point where she's thinking, shit, I'm pushing too much now. Martin obviously thinks he's slightly romantic with me because I'm giving him that idea. I'd better be careful not to fucking totally fuck that up and do the wrong thing in front of Martin. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's different ways to read that. Certainly she should be free to do exactly what she wants romantically with anyone, and Martin should not be stepping in and saying, oh, you can't do that. That should not happen at all. And even if you are in a relationship, if the person you're with wants to go and enjoy yourself with that bloke, I'm off home. I can't argue about it. There's no point, because shouting at you won't make you love me more, and it won't make him less attractive to you. People just do what they want to do. So if it turns out that that's how you feel, good luck with that. I'm feeling sad, of course. I'll be upset, but I'm not going to make you suffer because of it. I'm just going to walk away. That's the way you have to deal with that. But it's all a bit of an eggy situation here while people are drunk at some sort of party, isn't it?
And I was now definitely stuck trying to keep him happy to make sure that I would at least get my wage at the end. So,
oh God, she just said it. She's stuck trying to keep Martin happy to get her money. Well, that's not how business works. You know, if your boss is doing something weird, like leching onto you, and you don't have to pretend to be nice to get your money, do you? It's not how business works. It shouldn't be. But you're accusing Martin now of being a sleazy boss in some way, although he doesn't have control of the money. And also, you're the one on top of the guy in the put. You're the one with the guy. He's not on you. You're on someone else. It's a funny chain of thoughts, but it's a chain of thoughts that we're supposed to end up, you know, painting Martin out into this stereotyped way because she's telling us to. Up to this point, I've not believed anything she said. 20 minutes in, she's been very disingenuous. I'm not about to start believing her now, which is a shame, because if this is serious business and she is being treated badly by Martin through a relationship misunderstanding, then that's wrong and that should be addressed. But because of her previous testimony, it's hard for me to believe her.
So we get to Torquay, and at this point we realised that ticket sales were getting taken off the website that he had with India or wherever they were taking money for the tickets. They were shutting down the ticket sales 2 days before the tours, and I didn't think that was a good idea.
Who did she say we? She said we found out that this was happening. Does she mean me and Martin, or does she mean me and someone else? I think this is a truthful statement of facts. Again, when she's talking about the details of the money, you know, the actual facts, she's quite good on the details. But when it's about what people said and what he said and what she said, she doesn't seem genuine.
Because people still wanted to come to the tour but couldn't buy tickets. So I suggested, why don't you put an announcement saying that people can buy tickets on the day, and that therefore we won't like lose out on anybody that wants to join.
Not anybody that wants to join, but the money they bring, mate. Come on.
And after we announced it on our channels, India emails Martin, all capitals, we need to speak urgently. We only ever, at most, 6 or 7 people paid on the day. We didn't get that many people paying on the day.
Oh my God. So they've told them not to pay on the day. India's part of this organisation too, it seems now. I'm going to have to believe that she's like part of the organisation because you've said she is. And she's saying don't do it, and you're doing it. That would be a fucker, wouldn't it? If I was India, I don't know India from Adam at this point, but I'd be really cross at the people that I'm working with taking money on the door, because you can't account for that money. They could just steal it. Like, I don't know her from Adam. Like, let's not have any ticket money on. No cash is taken. Like, that's a good business thing to have no cash on the day, because then no one can be underhand you on the cash. And if you want to split the money at the end and put it in the pot and split it at the end, the best way is to have the trail, the account that says the money's come in. Not, I had some cash and I sold a few DVDs here and I should have given you half the money for that, but I don't remember whether it went in the kitty. Not that.
Because I have seen a comment saying that I received the money that way, but I didn't. There was about 7 people the whole tour, and every bit of money I had from, I was given.
Every bit of money I had, I was given. Yeah, you didn't take any money. You didn't take any money. You've not been on about this fucking money the whole fucking time, have you? So it's not like you to take some cash and just pocket it, is it?
And split that, and that's how it should have been the whole way anyway. So the first night in Torquay, me, Mel and Martin all went for a walk down on the front, and we ended up in a bar, and Mel was talking to the barman and they were having a nice chat.
Making all this up now. Like, making it up either from constructed ideas or constructed visuals, or like maybe she doesn't remember it properly.
Walked down on the front and we ended up in a bar, and Mel was talking to the barman and they were having a nice chat and getting along, and then Martin was absolutely giving the guy daggers. And
true that Martin was giving the guy daggers. Don't know what Mel was doing, all that other stuff. The lead up to this was not very genuine, but the fact that Martin was unhappy was genuine.
Basically wanted to have a fight with this guy because he was talking to Mel. Like, Mel's not his property, but he was acting as if she was.
So this is weird, because you're saying that he's doing that to you and now he's doing it to Mel. It's almost as if Martin is this crazy harem controlling, or maybe Martin's looking out for his friends who are vulnerable ladies, who are saying they're vulnerable ladies all the time and showing him their vulnerabilities, and he's worried and concerned for them, and he just feels protective. That's another aspect, isn't it? But I don't know, because I can't see in his head. But you're telling me he's like this sex offender, essentially, aren't you? You're trying to paint him out to be this controlling, domineering person.
And he was getting really angry, and I had to literally put music on the jukebox, try and distract him, try dancing and stuff, and trying to make him stop going on about this guy talking to her. But he wasn't. It was being weird and possessive, and it ruined the night. And then
it could have. Okay, I can trust her statement. He was being weird and possessive. She believes that. So, I can trust that she believes that. Again, it's hard for me to say what happened in a pub, isn't it? Objection hearsay. If we get more verifiable, accounts, evidence, testimony, maybe we can talk about that. Maybe people do get drunk and do silly things. I'd agree with that. So, yeah. Yeah.
Also at Torquay, when I was hanging out with one of the guys on the tour, we were getting on really well.
This is constructed.
When we're at the pub afterwards, we were just chatting, and then when he went to the bathroom, Martin comes over to me, slams a drink down on my table,
puts his drink down on the table,
and says, "Oh, so you're fucking off with him now, are you?"
Okay, so we're getting a pattern now. We're getting a pattern. It's all from her testimony, but the pattern is they go out. She starts chatting to some strange man. Martin starts feeling threatened that she's going to go off with said strange man. I personally wouldn't like hanging around with this lady. Certainly not feeling romantically involved with her. If that were my, the minute she did that the first time, would end of my feelings for her. Second time, not just you trying to go off with him. I'd just be like, fine, enjoy yourself. I've got your number. See you back at the van or whatever. Obviously, you're more interested in going and sitting next to this man and talking to him than me. So that's fine. People will be themselves. But we're getting a pattern of behaviour here. She knows it riles him up. She knows it makes him angry. And she's flirting with people. Flirting might be the wrong word. Talking to strange men that she's never met before in the pub and sitting with them. It's up to you how you judge that. You can say it's great, it's fine, or it's not. It's up to you. It's not fine to demand people to do what you want them to do. So if you don't like that in a person, you don't hang around with them. If you're Martin and you think, God, she's talking to that man, you don't go over and say, oh, are you talking to that man? You just say, you're right, I'm just off now, so just see you in a bit. That's all. You don't have to, if you don't like it, you don't have to put up with it, but you can't change her and her behaviour.
So he was mad that I was speaking to a guy on the tour. Basically, that made me nervous after that to talk to any guys on the tour. If I saw him, he'd give me a look like daggers. Okay,
so now we're saying he's gaslighting her in this is this area. If that is going on, that's terrible, and I don't think Martin should be doing that, if that's the case. The problem is, up to this point, we've been trying to Like, now it feels like we're character assassinating Martin. If we have other corroborating evidence, that would be good. There were lots of people on the tour, so I guess they would have seen this in action, felt that vibe. You know that vibe. We'd have to look into that.
If I ever, like, even was having a nice chat with someone, if I'd see him in the distance looking, it'd be, it's a look he does. You've seen it on his live streams sometimes. He does this look as if to say, I don't even know what it's to say, but it's daggers. So we arrive in Glastonbury, and Martin tells me there's no money left at all. And I was horrified. I was like, but you told me 3 days ago there was 5.
Oh my days. Worst thing possible. The money.
£5,000 in the pot, and you'd already put £1,000 aside for fuel. So
Oh yeah, maybe her actions. Thus far, I've tried to paint a picture of her personality, and I would think that she's the sort of person that enjoys the fight.
so why is there no money left? Is this day
And she'd provoke someone to, because she knows it's provocative, if you know what I mean.
free of the tour? And he told me basically
And she won't take any acceptance that she has been provocative, remember? Oh, it's okay for me to just go and talk to a man in the pub. Of course it is. Of course it is. But, you know, we all know, don't we? We all know if you're there in a group and that's your girl that you've taken out and you bought her a drink and you sit down and she goes off and sits down to somebody else and talks to him all night. You know, don't you?
that India from Holistic Media, she spent £1,000 on coffee for the conference that was nothing to do with the tour. So they spent the tour money on coffee for everybody. And they also spent £600 of the tour money on books for Martin to sell at the tour. So
okay, she's big on the money. Right, we're bang halfway through the video. We're in a critical point where the money's going. Where's the money going? I think that's where we adjourn for the day. It's been a big one. We'll be back with another big one tomorrow because I can see it being equally as long, can't I? Because it's the same. Oh, no, wait. What day is it tomorrow? Can't be back tomorrow. Got to be back on Friday. Today I have to be off. And, yeah, I have to be off tomorrow and then back on Friday. I can't... Obviously, we've done 3.5 hours. Bear this in mind. I've been talking for 3.5 hours. So if you want the best of me, we're going to have to do it in 2 parts. Isn't it interesting? I do want to say, I am still to reserve judgment. We've still got 20 minutes. She could still show me evidence of behaviour that I would absolutely say, no, that's not acceptable. Bad man. She could show me the bank statements and the contracts and the emails, and I might change my mind. But at the moment, all I've got is her testimony, her Amber Hurd. All I've got is an Amber Hurd telling me her truth. And it's not even her truth. A lot of the time it's her conjecture, her looking into the areas that would suggest she's making up images, constructing sounds. She's doing the things that body language experts, and I'm not going to call myself an expert, but obviously you've seen what I believe are my skills up to this point. I've done a bit of study on it all over the years, and she's showing me all these signs, these things that I find to be difficult to take on board if she's going to be telling the truth. So I'm going to still reserve judgment, but you know, it's been really good, hasn't it? It's been 3.5 hours of this. I hope Martin's watching in somewhere. Remember the other day I'd say I'd pay off his drug debt. Martin, if you need to come back to this country, all right, this is just random at the end, but I'm going to say it again anyway. I'm not a rich man, Martin, so please do not try and just skank me of my money. But if you are out this country because you owe drug dealers money, if you ticked a load of weed and you can't pay for it, right, then let me know. Be honest about it. I can't PayPal you. You need cash. Come around here. I'll give you the cash. We'll go to the drug dealers, we'll pay them, we'll make sure they're paid. I don't want to have you get your head kicked in, right? Not accept it. If you're in that such of a situation that you're scared about your own personal safety because you've run up a debt you can't pay in that aspect, I will cover that. Up to about, I said 750 quid yesterday, so I've got to stick to it. But that's fucking loads of money for me, Martin. So if it's 40 quid, that'd be much better. But like, please don't tell me you've had 2 kilo. But Martin, honestly, that still stands. That's true, because for a number of reasons. I know I want to be true to my word, always true to my word, and I want you to understand that people think you're this and that. I think you're this and that on the bad front with the ideas and the ripping people off. I wouldn't buy your book, Martin. I think that's a waste of money, that book. I think those people would be better off spending their money elsewhere and not going in with these funny ideas. But Martin, like, you're a human being, and if these people are going to gang up on you, group up on you in this area that you took your own self-esteem and your own sense of self-worth, and you're present there and you're enjoying your life, and they're going to shit it all up for you. I feel bad for you, I feel bad for you. And if you're having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but the flat earth ain't one. So yeah, thanks. Right, okay, thanks. Knuckles is going to chip in as well. So, but it's only, bear in mind, this is not just so you can gallivant around and have champagne. This is only, Martin, if you really honestly owe that money to a drug dealer, and if that's the reason that you're out the country. Because I worry that that's the reason, because threats on your life might make you run. People knowing where you live and demanding their money, that might make you run. It's only that. It's only that. It's not so you can pay this woman. And Knuckles, I'm not going to make you chip in, and I'm not going to do it unless he can actually come to me and say, I'm not going to need some sort of, I'm not going to need the drug dealer come round and like, you know, show me the bill. That's not what I need. But eye to eye, man to man, shake hands on it, do me an honour. I'll do you the honour, you know. I believe in an honour code. I do believe in an honour code, and I believe in helping other people. And I believe, even if they're not your, you know, direct friend necessarily, turning the, you know, being the good Samaritan, turning the other cheek. These things are all important. So I believe we need to help our other man. We need to help our fellow man and women. And women, you know, at the end of this, I might have other things to say about her. We might find other stuff about her, and I might find some compassionate ground with her. But bottom line, I'm not going to be nice to her now because of the things she's doing. She's being a bully. So, but I do honestly, I believe you need to have this this ability to rise above this shit. You know, because if someone does that for someone, if you do that for someone in this life, that could be a little thing. It could be a £40 drug debt. It could be, for me, £700 is fucking loads of money. So it could be a £700 drug debt. But it could be a little thing. But in the big picture, 10 years from now, I'm not going to remember that 700 quid. But Martin will always remember that day that fella had his back. You know, that's loyalty that you build. That's faith in humanity that you build. And you have to pass it on. You know what I mean? You have to pass it on. So that still stands. But please don't, Martin. Please don't just call me up and ask me to PayPal you the full value of 750 just because you think I'm free money. Don't do that, Martin. Don't do that. It has to be honest. It has to be real. Okay, it has to be real. And you have to be real. And we'll have real, recognise real, and we'll have your back. Don't worry. Don't worry. It won't all turn to shit. In the long run, the honest truth will come out. And if you are a sex predator, then I will turn on you. I'll turn it. You know, I don't have an iron in this fight. I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm just reviewing videos, for God's sake. Let's all have a good laugh, right? I'll see you on Friday. You be good. And if you can't be good, then you're naughty. And you know